singing ooh la la, ooh la la, yeah, yeah, ooh la la la, ooh la la. I'm so delighted to sing that song. I'm gonna tell you the truth right now. I told you the truth before the game started, actually. I told you I was a little concerned. Pittsburgh's defensive line had me worried. Oh, they had me worried. And by the way, actually, they did a good job on the 49ers, that defensive line did. Actually, they did. There's some numbers that reflect the fact that they did, but we overcame that, which is even more impressive. Fam, you know, the Niners before this Sunday versus Steelers have been notorious, as you and I both know, for slow week one starts for the past few seasons. Not this week one, though. Niners seem to be fully aware of the misery behind that unnecessary. Niners got to get over that now. They flew into Pittsburgh to change that trend, put an exclamation point on it. They were second, only to the Cowboys slaughter versus Giants on the beatdown chart. And it reflected this week's power rankings, too. Niners sprung. I think they gave the Cowboys number one ranking, but that's fine. I mean, the rankings shouldn't be taken too seriously anyway. But it's funny how that happened. The bigger beat down you get, the higher you get in the power ranking. Go on the phones for your further take on Niners bludgeoning of the Steelers after going over some of the details that went into the San Francisco clinic held at Acrisure Stadium. That's one of the most impressive wins by the 49ers. They've been beating people up, but my God, I was shocked. I didn't want to admit it at the time because some people, no, man, I know we had this. No, you didn't. There was no reason to know we had this. We're flying to the East Coast. Number one, that's a problem. Number two, we're going to play against a very physical team. TJ Watt's over there. And TJ got his, too. It's just the rest of them couldn't count in. Remember, fam, before the game, Patrick Peterson, he said the 49ers offense had tells and that he believed he would end up with an INT during the matchup, right? The man claimed that San Francisco's offense was quarterback friendly, unquote, and that tackling those who caught the ball was more important than preparing to stop Purdy. Brock heard that noise, fam. A lot of times we figure that players are taught to just tune out the noise, focus on what you're doing, and get the job done. That's all you need to be concerned about, young man. And so, Brock pretended to for a little bit. He tried to pretend like he wouldn't pay no attention. Remember the press conference, Brock said, he said that? Okay, we'll see. But little did we mind, Brock's that silent, strong type. He doesn't have a lot to say. He's not real obnoxious. He's got that mind where, okay, I'll remember that. He's like Clint Eastwood. But anyway, after the game, he addressed both touchdown passes and asked if his second was against Peterson, as if he didn't know. And maybe he didn't, but I said, Brock, you didn't know? Nobody told you? The answer, of course, was, yep. Mrs. Purdy's baby boy answered with a smile and said, quote, that felt good. That's what I'm starting to like, Brock. His personality it runs underneath the current. You know what I'm saying? Steelers D allowed 30 points in the contest, and their offense didn't and could not help them very much. After fading the game more than 2 yards in opening quarter. Fam. They finished the game with 22 minutes and 37 seconds time of possession compared to 49ers 37-23. Remember that graphic that went across the screen? 49ers had 100-something yards. Steelers won. And did you read it like I said? That can't be right. Is that a mistake? No, it wasn't. It was not a mistake. 1 yard. When's the last time the 49ers did that to anybody? So I just said, all I could think to myself was, domination! Domination! I said, come on, man. 1 yard? But Patrick Peterson, the man is more shameless than I had ever imagined. You know what he said after the game? You probably already checked that out. I just want to review it just a little bit. Uh, he stands by his word. Yeah, Patrick's not budging. He said the 49ers offense had tells and believed he could have ended up with 2 INTs if he got his hands on them. Fam, honestly, try to remove yourself from the 49er box and think to yourself, would you have said something like that? That just adds to the embarrassment. If I got my hands on them? What does that mean, Patrick? What is it? You did, actually, and you dropped 1 or 2, actually. Wow. He went on to add to his embarrassment by saying, quote, I was there. I saw you. We seen it. I had an opportunity to get 2 picks. I just didn't grab it in. What's wrong with him? But you know what, though? PB did say a few things that made sense by saying, quote, credit to those guys. Those guys did a great job of sticking to the game plan and really getting to their identity, which is run the football, misdirections, hit those deep stops. That's just what they do. We just wasn't in good enough position to make those plays, unquote. Patrick, Mr. Obvious. Anyway, Patrick Peterson, anything you want to add to what we've already said about Patrick Peterson's and his comedy? I haven't told Patrick, I don't care what anybody says about you, and you're hilarious, and I ain't mad at you, man, because you made me laugh. But fam, let's get into this. Niners outgained the Steelers more than the final stats even show. Before the Steelers' final drive of the half, they only had 1 yard to show for their first 5 offensive drives. And they was punting all day long. It wasn't just the defense that dominated either, fam. It was a well-rounded, balanced performance that showcased Brock Purdy's triumphant return to action after successfully rehabbing from surgery on that throwing arm. Did you see any problem with the passes? See, everybody's talking about, oh, man, he can't possibly be ready to play, man. I don't know about it. Man, Brock was zipping the ball around the field with no problem. And rookie kicker Jake Moody, who had me worried. Helped the special teams unit shine with 3 successful field goal attempts as well as 3 extra points. He was flawless. I still think Robbie was in the back rolling doobies for him. But in the meantime, fam, can I get an amen from Mrs. Moody's baby boy, Brother Jake? Amen, Jake. Thank you for not freezing up and wimping out on us. I was worried about you, man. Still, though, it wasn't a perfect game, fam. The Niners total 11 penalties for 85 yards, several of which assisted the Steelers in their only touchdown drive of the game. Now, so here's the thing about that, fam. Early in the season, you do look for this kind of discipline problem. You don't look for it, but whether you do or not, you're going to get it. And they did in another stadium, of course, and so it's a little harder to hear. Maybe I'm going to give that for an excuse for now. Hopefully they get it ironed out by next week. The 49ers were very good at not getting penalties last year, except for Trent Williams get 1 a week. But I can live with 1 a week. Yeah. So Niners know what needs to be worked on and improved. Let's talk about highlights according to the fellas over at PFF, the crew. They said Brock Purdy, 73.2. Had a solid game outside of his 2 fumbles, 1 loss, 1 recovered. Now, if he didn't have that, it'd be a little higher than that, I'm pretty sure. Intermediate throws were Purdy's sweet spot. And then Kyle Shanahan, what makes you good? If you're a quarterback that can throw intermediate throws, you've got to have it. We don't care if you can throw the ball out of the stadium. You've got to hit those timing routes and get that ball into the Yak brothers. Got to do it. He completed 9 of his 10 attempts for 142 yards, 1 touchdown, and a 152.1 passer rating on throws, 10 to 19 yards downfield. Oh, yeah. Brock was pressured on 15 plays and was sacked 3 times, but otherwise got the ball out quickly when needed. And who did he get it out to quickly? Brandon Ayuk, 92.9. Biggs overall score is second only to Dolphins receiver Tyreek Hill at 93 through Sunday night's games. And with Patrick Peterson and all, I'm talking about his promise to get picks, Ayuk caught all 8 of his targets for 129 yards and 2 TDs. Patrick. trick. 1, 2, Ayuk's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door. And I tell you what, fam, Purdy had a perfect passer rating. Rating 158.3 with targeting Ayuk on this past game, and their connection on back shoulder pass for a touchdown. That was unbelievably special. Fam, Debo's going to get his. I ain't even worried about him. You already know if Brock Purdy and Ayuk become favorites of each other, look out. Look the hell out. Being managed to get both feet down to the edge of the end zone while being closely covered by Patrick Peterson was all over him like a cheap suit. Ayuk said, "Fine, get out the way, son." Wow. There was also a key blocker in Christian McCaffrey's 65-yard touchdown run at the beginning of the second half. Take a bow, B.A. Good God almighty, you came to play some football. Christian McCaffrey, 74.6. McCaffrey carried the ball 22 times for 152 yards. This is an average of 6.9 yards per carry. Could have gave him the ball all day and would have scored every time. I just didn't appreciate how much Kyle used him. Kyle explained that in the press today. But CMC also caught 3 of his 5 targets for 17 yards. 7 of CMC's 22 rushes resulted in a first down or a touchdown. Steelers didn't want nothing to do. And this is why when Rudy was with Wade Breezy talking trash, I was like, you really need to pay attention to what's going on around you before you start saying foolish, dumbass, stupid things. When CMC, as well as one of his receptions, C-Mac-C! The man was hurting people with physicality. 125 of Mrs. Purdy's, I'm sorry, Mrs. I'm getting them all mixed up now. 125 yards of Mrs. CMC's baby boy. 152 rushing yards came after contact. Offensive line, this is where the fun ends. The scores weren't nearly as glamorous for the offensive line, which allowed 15 total pressures of C-Mac-C throughout the game. Or, I'm sorry, Brock Purdy throughout the game. Even Trent Williams actually played a so-so game at 70.7 for him. That's so-so. Overall, 72.8 pass blocking grade, 2 hurries, 1 penalty. Also, Aaron Banks, 51.3 overall, 49.8 pass rushing grade, no pressures. Jake Brindle, 57.4, 44.6 pass blocking grade, 1 hit, 2 hurries. This reflects extremely huge on how well Brock Purdy actually played. The protection was minimal, fam. Right, but Brock just got that ball out quick, made his reads. Spencer Burford, here's where it really is sad, fam, and frightening. 28.6 overall, 11.4 pass blocking grade, 4 hurries. Burford was a turnstile. Right tackle Colton McKivitz. Actually, it's funny because Colton got abused because T.J. Watt was down there. He still came up with 45 overall, 40.6 pass blocking, 3 sacks, which was all the sacks on the day, and 1 hit, 1 hurry. Coach, you got to do something about the offensive line. I realize the Steelers, and by the way, the Steelers D-line is going to do that to a lot of opponents this year. They are that good. That's what I was worried about coming into this game. Can our offensive line contain a line like the Cowboys? This is what I think, was that Tony that said this is a test to see what the 49ers are going to look like against the Cowboys? We cannot look like this against the Cowboys. That offensive line has got to make some adjustments. I'm not happy, but no need to be being shamed because, as I say, the Steelers are nobody's wimps. Oh, my God. Defensive line, no. The defensive line was inspired by the return of Nick Bosa's triumphant return. Nick did not record a quarterback sack, but just his mere presence on the field allowed his teammates to get excited. Other members of the group the opportunity to get after poor Kenny Pickett and hold the Steelers to only 41 yards. on the ground. And Nick, just for being Nick, standing out there looking like a gothic something. 485.5 overall grade, 3 hurries and one run stop. Cleveland Farrell, this is good news, fam. Cleveland Farrell, 84.5 overall grade, 2 hits, 2 run stops. He'll get there. He's working with Kasurik. I look for him to blossom this year. Kevin Givens, 83.8 overall grade, 2 hurries. Javon Hargrave, 83.7 overall grade, 1 sack, 2 hurries, 1 stop. And he's just getting started. Yeah, Javon can play a lot better football than that, too. Drake Jackson. 82.3 for Big Drake. At 3 sacks, 2 hurries, 3 stops. You know, the SC Products had a day. Talanoa, Drake. Eric Armstead, 78.9 overall grade, 1 hit, 4 hurries. Eric, you got to pick it up. You got to pick it up, Eric. You got to pick it up. Because if you shine, there's nothing a team can do because the rest of the guys are going to make it. They're going to be fine. You hold the key to being absolutely unstoppable. And let's looking at the pass coverage. Tavares Ward, 81.6 coverage grade, allowed 1 catch on 6 targets for 26 yards, 1 penalty. You expect that of Tavares in his tackling ability. Talanoa, 74.2 coverage, allowed 1 catch on 1 target for 5 yards, 1 penalty. This is the thing about coach's system. I'm a little concerned. This is going to be the thing throughout the season. The targets and the catches. The 49ers can keep everything in front of them, but I'm concerned about there are certain wide receivers that will tear a zone apart. Tashawn Gibson, 70.4 coverage grade. He wasn't targeted. Dre Greenlaw, 69.4 coverage grade. When they watch film, I'm hoping they'll make some adjustments on this. Dre allowed 7 catches on 11 targets for 31 yards. Samuel Womack, 65.3 coverage grade. He wasn't targeted. Demo Lenore, this is what Charles is talking about. Charles, you know what? This system is having something to do with everybody consistently giving up a lot of catches. 65.2 coverage, allowed 8 chances on 9 targets for 55 yards. I'm a little concerned. Isaiah Oliver, 63-point coverage grade, allowed 3 catches on 3 targets for 25 yards. They're not any huge gains, and I think that may be coach's prerogative on this. They may catch the ball, but they're not going anywhere. We did have some INTs. Are we going to get used to this, I guess? I guess we're going to have to. Ambry Thomas, 62.1 coverage scored, allowed 5 catches on 6 targets, only 32 yards. I'm still feeling it. I don't know. Let's see how it works out. Even Fred Warner, 52.1 coverage grade. Fred should have had a pick, though. Allowed 6 catches on 8 attempts for 68 yards. 1 hit him all in the face. That's all right. I ain't worried about it. I had nothing else to say about Fred Warner, okay? I ain't saying nothing about Fred Warner. I'm not. I'm just saying. Special teams, Mitch Wisnowski, 68.4. He was the 3rd highest grade punter in week 1. All 3 of them punts were inside the 20-yard line with only 2 return yards allowed. That's what I'm talking about. Mitch! And Mitch, if you could have ran a little faster and not made that cut, I believe you got that first down, too. I like what I seen. That was this game, right? That wasn't preseason. That was this game, right? I think so. More to smile about, though, Phil. Kenny Pickett was under pressure on 23 of 52 dropbacks, 44.2%, despite 49ers only blitzing him on 10 of his 52 attempts, 19.2% dropbacks. Defensive alignment on 63 total plays, nickel package 56, base defense 7 plays. So the 49ers, that's why I'm saying the 49ers don't play in that base package very often. First half, Ambry Thomas played outside. Diamado Lenore played at the slot. Second half, it was Isaiah Oliver playing in the slot. We're going to see how this develops. I got to see a better team offensively. We'll actually see a better team offensively this week. I got a feeling Stafford looked pretty. I saw him. I watched this. They got a couple of new people out there. Tutu's back out there. This guy, I don't know how to pronounce his name. I can't. Knox something. Anyway, he didn't look bad. I must admit. I'll give you that, Rudy. Your replacement receiver, he may have something going on. We'll see, though, because he'll get tested this weekend. If he's all that in a bag of chips, he will do well. If not, he will be hurt like the rookie he is. Jimmy G, 49, thanks, Fred. I'm not from the West Coast and was wondering what's Sophia going to be like this week. Sophia, I like that even better. Is it going to be a night of takeover? Rams going to lead silent count? Yeah, oh, yeah. You know it is. One thing the 49ers pride themselves on is overcrowding and making it impossible for 49ers to buy tickets. Rams to buy tickets. Big show. Fam, have you ever thought about updating your graphics and adding a 49ers news ticker at bottom of your screen with injury updates? I like that suggestion, though, Big Show. Transition news, etc. Also time to add Jerry on the wall. Show, thanks for those suggestions. I'm telling you, I like them. And we got one other down there, that green one down here at the bottom. Okay, so. It's Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, Jack jump over that winning stick. Jack! You, Jack.
Tonight on Courthouse Ronbo, Judge Ronbo.
Yes.
We have our closing arguments. We would like to say on behalf of Brandon Ayuk, Jack's Back's law office is representing Brandon Ayuk, and we would like to say this man has only been gaining leverage since he came in, since Jack said before Cool Whip during the draft to get either Laviska Shenault or Brandon Ayuk. Now, he's been bettering himself each year, and he's shown this week, as Jack has been pointing out throughout this whole training camp and off season, that Mr. Ayuk deserves to get paid. And with the quarterback that he has now, Your Honor, we would like him to get paid before it gets way out of hand, and he's making all these receivers look stupid. And as Jack pointed out during the offseason, this man will be a top 5 wide receiver and is currently, if not the best receiver. We have the cap space. We have the quarterback, and he has been overshadowed by Deebo Samuels. When you have a quarterback like a Jimmy Garoppolo, you need a guy like Deebo to line up in the backfield. How many times, Your Honor, did Deebo line up in the backfield against the Steelers?
To my recollection, maybe 2 or 3 times.
I believe it's 0. He did run some sweeps, but he was not a running back. My point being, Your Honor, is that if you look at the tape of Deebo being mic'd up, everybody right now, you guys could listen down into Ronbo and watch Deebo mic'd up. He does not have the juke skills that Ayuk has. And if you look on the tape, this is why people like our undrafted rookie, who I was very high on, Deshaun Jameson, was so sticky against him because he can't separate like Ayuk can. And but I'm not saying he's a valuable member to this team, but with the quarterback, once again, that we have and the skills that Brandon Ayuk has, we need to pay him, Your Honor. Thank you.
Yeah, your client is most likely already been approached. I doubt very seriously whether he's going to want to get paid now at the premium he would be at, as opposed to what he will be valued at the end of the season. Mr. Ayuk will be approached once again, but we're not thinking he's going to accept it.
Your Honor. Objection to your last hearing on the post game. You got it wrong. You thought I said something else, and I want to clarify that I said if the Jets, which they offered us a first and a third, because I was so high on Garrett Wilson in the draft. As you know, I am the draft king. I was so high on Garrett Wilson, who became the offensive rookie of the year. I said I would have jumped on that because I don't think Deebo is worth $30 million if we have a quarterback like that, as we do. I did not say that the Jets would give us Garrett Wilson currently. So I think you got that point wrong and being biased. So I'd like for you to find my client, Brandon Ayuk, not guilty and to be paid immediately for defamation, Your Honor. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You know, hey, I tell you though,
But listen,
I'd really love to see Jack. I mean, I'd really love to see him get paid earlier. And like you say, rather than going to next season, he will be that guy next year. Well, they're still waiting for the 49ers to make a decision on Brandon Ayuk and Ayuk to agree with the offer. I really don't feel like going through that stress next year. We've been through it for the last 4 years in a row. I'm really tired of that. I want Ayuk in camp. I want him working out. I want him getting ready for the season. We're seeing Nick Bosa now looking not quite like Nick Bosa because of the same thing that Debo didn't look like Debo last year because they're too busy working on the contract rather than training. Oh, I don't want to see that again next year.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and another thing I don't want to see next year is another man like Danielo Cavalcante who broke out of prison and get caught with a Philadelphia Eagles hoodie. Sources say that if he had worn a 49er hoodie, if he had worn a 49er hoodie, the officer who caught him might have let him go before the SWAT moved in. But going to our right side, Ronbo, which I also called it like an alcoholic, man, is that this dude has been suspect all off season, you know, Colton McKivitz, and now even our guard, Spencer, is not looking the best. I mean, this dude could have had 4 or 5 sacks. We're talking about what against him. I mean, spend the money, get somebody protected, because one of these dudes, let's see, we got Aaron Donald coming up. We got Kevon Thibodeau, Micah Parsons, Myles Garrett, Danielle Hunter, and the list goes on and on. I mean, Chase Young, Montez Sweat, at the end of the season, one of these dudes could hurt our quarterback and mess up our chances. We have to protect the right side, Ronbo, and I keep emphasizing this, is we got the money. Why not get a right tackle, man? And I know that everybody agrees, and you talked about it too.
While
But
you're in
that's
a direction of, name a name that they can actually pursue.
That's going to be my research tonight. My research tonight or tomorrow is going to be that. I want to even somebody off the street who retired that we drafted with Mike Singletary on the right. Was it I can think of his name. He ended up retiring, got his paycheck before the season started. Remember, we got him 10th overall, and then we got the Samoan brother in that draft.
Are you potty? You know what, though? And if it was that long ago, are you talking about bringing him in? I don't even know who this is, but I mean, he's not able to play now.
Andre Smith. Yeah, can't even think. But we need somebody like that, man. But, everybody has us ranked number 1, NFL.com. Stephen A. Smith and more are starting to believe, Richard Sherman. So I'm really excited, man. I think we got a squad this year. We just have to protect ourselves.
Hey,
but
Jack,
talking about protect ourselves, Ronbo. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, because I got a feeling Nick Bosa has a lot to do with that offensive line's training. I'm not going to panic yet, but the Eagles, by the way, struggled to beat, and I don't know how good the Patriots are, but the Eagles got by the Patriots. So that's why I don't know why they wouldn't be ranked a little lower. But anyway, Jack, we're going to run out of time.
But really quick before we run out of time, do we have a backup plan if something happens to Ronbo or Ronbo Sports? Because the guys, we're starting to get a little nervous. You're telling us to call in on Tuesday. You're not available Tuesday or Wednesday. What's going on here? Do we need to start a group chat with the fellas? And if something happens, we got to all decide who like we go take turns like undisputed with all the squad now and keep it going. Because, man, Ronbo, if something happens to Ronbo, man, this is so therapeutic to my soul, man. I need this to be on point. We need to have you on cayenne pepper in case you have some chest pains or something like that for the future. You know what I'm saying?
All right, Jack, I apologize. I should have wrote a note out yesterday saying what my issue was yesterday. But that's not going to happen often during the season. I
hope you're not cheating. I hope you're not cheating on us, Ronbo, and putting a fake accent or a monotone to go with another team that's paying you to be their radio sportscast host.
No. I was going to go jump on with Wayne Breezy and go after Rudy, though. Rudy was pissing me off so bad. Anyway, we got to go, Jack. Before we get in trouble with production. I'll see you this Friday.
Let's go get them Rams, baby. See you Sunday, baby. See you Sunday. All right.
Friday. Be back Friday. All right, fam.
Thank you,
Krusty
Judge.
is back. Krusty.
Hey.
Krusty, come on in, man.
I'm here. Can you not hear me?
No, I can hear you now. I was just saying, come on in because that's what I always say. Krusty, good to hear from you again too. Well, Krusty,
Yeah, good to hear from you too.
yeah, we're sitting here enjoying this win, and we didn't actually. Kyle Shanahan alluded to it too. We did not play our best football against the Steelers, and it still came up smelling like roses. It looked like. I mean, it was ridiculous. We were playing like a high school team, except for T.J. Watt down there going nuts. But
All right.
So what's your feeling on it?
You know, I felt like we did really good. You know, the last couple of years, the first few games of the season seemed like we didn't know what we were doing. You know, we came out of the gate slow and everything. And this year, it almost seemed.
Krusty?
You know,
Yeah, you cut out for a
can only
second.
get better. Yeah, cut out for a second. Oh, I said we can only get better from here. It seems like we're already in mid-season form.
Yeah. Especially
Yeah.
Brock Purdy.
So-
He came in,
Yeah.
did Brock Purdy look like he was in midseason form? I keep telling people, listen, before you pass too much judgment on Brock Purdy, you need to wait. What we saw yesterday in Brock Purdy, that was obscene. That was ridiculous. Why is he looking so calm out there and doing so well? Mid-season, I can't wait to see what he looks like.
No, yeah. You know, I honestly think that between Brock Purdy and Jimmy G and all the other guys, Brock Purdy, he processes everything a lot faster than everybody else does. He always seems to find the open guy.
Yes.
He doesn't, he may not have the strongest arm, but he doesn't miss.
That's all I
So-
care.
Yeah, you know, and it was funny because I heard that they were talking about how, a lot of times when they're talking about football, it's normally the defense gets tired because they're out on the field too long. The offense is complaining about getting tired because the defense is sending the Steelers back to the bench real quick. So like you were
that could be a
saying,
problem.
not only that, the 7 points they did get, my personal opinion, the only reason they got it is because the 2 penalties on the North.
Yes.
If he didn't have those 2 penalties, they would have shut him
Zip.
out too.
Damn
Yeah.
it.
And a lot of people are talking about how the Cowboys beat the Giants, but it was the same thing as last year when we lost to the freaking Bears. There was a torrential downpour. You could barely even see what was going on the freaking field.
And they give the
So-
Eagles the same excuse.
Yeah, Eagles. Yeah, all right.
Oh,
My
that's what you're
personal
talking about
opinion
anyway.
is-
Yeah.
But I just look at it this way: it's like we've made it to the NFC Championship game 2 times.
3.
When we lost to the Rams, we lost because Hart dropped the football, and Purdy tore his UCL. In this other time, I believe we would have beat the Eagles because the defense kept us in that game, even though Josh Johnson looked like he couldn't even been quarterback of Pop Warner team when we were playing.
Well, he couldn't. Hey,
Yeah,
you know
I know.
something else, Krusty, about that last year? One thing I want to point out. The Rams need to thank their lucky stars. The 49ers just plain ran out of gas. When you look at the 49ers, even with the Kowalski drop, we were still leading going to the final part of the fourth quarter. If the 49ers hadn't had to play 3 games, the Rams aren't getting to the Super Bowl. And they know it. They should.
Right, but we lived into that game too. Jimmy G had a bad shoulder and bad thumb. Trent Williams was hobbling around on 1 foot.
And still they
Everything
won
was
by
bad
3
for us that
lousy
game.
points.
I know.
Chest beat.
But still, it's like, because literally, we could have technically won the Super Bowl these last 2 years too if we would have won the game, because we would have beat the Chiefs last year, and we would have beat the Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And if Purdy didn't tear his UCL in the NFC game championship
We were going this
game
year.
last year, we would have won. We're going to go this year. We are going to go this year.
Yeah,
I think that we're going to go this year.
I do too,
You
but I
know?
thought so last year too. But you know what? This is year. I'm feeling this too. They're too polished. They know what they're doing. There's continuity out there like no other year. This has got to be the one.
Right, but not only that, it's finding like how everybody always talks about our offense and stuff, how we should be having a football games and how we should be playing. We started off the way that everybody thinks that we should start it off, scoring 30-plus points, shutting the defense, shutting everybody down. If we keep playing like this,
Who's going to stop us?
I don't know who could beat us this year.
I said that already.
Yeah, exactly. Who's going to stop us?
I mean, I look
Yeah.
at the offense.
If we keep this up,
Look at the guys on the offense. I'm thinking, looking at all the weapons. Who's going to stop that offense?
well, Well, not only that, we have all pros on every level of the offense and every level of the defense.
Complete team.
Yeah, no, we're a complete team. We got the best team in the NFL, top to bottom. A lot of people don't give Brock Purdy the credit, but you know what?
You're going to have to.
If he didn't tear his UCL, he could be friggin', 10 games. What is 10 games now that he would have won in a row?
Oh, that's right. He's on a win streak.
Because he hasn't lost
the playoff game. Yeah. Regular season.
If he hasn't lost a game on regular season game, so we'll see what happens. If they can keep him upright and he can keep doing what he's doing, how are we going to? I think Shanahan finally found the QB he wants.
Looks like it.
And no one's complaining about other than him leaving. Yeah, but not other than him leaving people in too long. No one's complaining about his play calling or anything like that because Brock Purdy can actually do what friggin' Shanahan wants him to do. He's not scared in the pocket like Jimmy G is. Jimmy wins, but there's some questionable stuff that Jimmy does.
Brock can move out. He can find people. And like you're saying, you look at at right on the field at live action. You see the first read that he looks past, and he goes to the second read that's a little further down the field with the precision shot. And I said, whoa, he's a rookie.
Right.
How did he do that? I'm always saying that. How did he do that?
Right. But not only that, if you actually pay attention, where he came from, Iowa, ever since him and Breece Hall left the Iowa program and went into the NFL, they suck again. So him and Breece Hall turned that team around in college, and now they're doing the same thing in the NFL because Breece Hall is freaking running around like a crazy man, and with the Jets and Brock Purdy, what he's doing with the Niners right now is like these guys are actually they can play. And if you actually maybe you should stay in college and play 4 years of college before jumping into the NFL. Because Trey Lance was a project quarterback, and we never should have drafted him because we have a team that needs to win now, not a team that has time to develop a quarterback. We're not rebuilding. We're not doing any of that stuff. So, if he can't sit there and beat out Sam Darnold, there's no reason he should be on our team. I'm kind of glad we traded him away, but
well,
he's still third string on freaking Dallas.
Well, you know what?
He didn't even freaking beat Cooper Rush out.
Dak's walking on thin ice, so we'll see what happens there. Because I can't wait for Dak to just do the Dak. Dak threw for 140 yards or something like that in a game where they scored 40 points. Yeah. What was Dak doing? It's okay. You know what? Because we're gonna run out of time.
Sideline.
I know.
Yeah.
Let me. I'll see you Friday for the predictions. All right. Good to hear from you again too. How's the little fella doing?
Yeah. Oh, she's doing good.
Oh, so it's a daughter. You got a daughter. How's the little lady doing? I'm sorry.
Yeah. She's good.
Well, good to hear that.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you Friday, okay?
Yeah, it's going to be another blowout, but we'll see.
Yes, we will. Night, Krusty.
Yeah. All right, night.
And there he is. It's Chill. Phil. Phil knew this all the time.
Hey, Ronbo.
Phil, I want you to know that I want to apologize for having any second thoughts about what was going to happen against the Steelers. And you pointed out in the same fashion you always do with complete confidence. I was still a little concerned.
Ronbo, let's go to the next game. All right?
Yes, indeed.
Past history, even though Big Show got it wrong again. let's be accountable, Big Show. You picked Pittsburgh. You lost.
I forgot
All
he
right?
did.
Yeah, he's been wrong a lot. And he says he's never wrong? Oh, man. He's like Patrick Peterson. Denial.
Peterson is hilarious.
I'm sorry. Whatever. Let's go to the next game. All right? The Rams beat Seattle, up in Seattle. Seattle was the most overrated team in the NFL.
In history.
And the Eagles are the second most overrated team in the NFL.
I concur on that as well.
Let's go that way, first of all. Geno Smith has had 10 years in the league, 9 of them bad, 1 of them good, and now he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Sorry, not true. The other thing is the Rams, Seattle didn't have a pass rush.
What do you think our defensive line is going to go against the Rams' offensive line?
And Stafford, if you don't have
Hello.
a rush, yeah, he's going to get you, but not otherwise. We've already proven that how many times?
I'm sorry. Nick, now he's got a game in the bag. He's going to be good. Drake Jackson's proved now he's the guy. And now you've got Hargrave and Armstead up the middle, and they were trashing Pittsburgh's line, which is far better than the Rams.
Yes.
I'm sorry. That quarterback for the Rams ain't going to have the time that he had against Seattle.
And
And
Stafford's going to look to be throwing the ball downfield because he's not going to be able to run either. Akers is okay, but they're not going to be able to run that ball.
The other thing is Stafford took apart Seattle's linebackers.
Yep.
They're old. Okay,
I know
they
Bobby
brought
is.
back what's his name? And now he's going up against Greenlaw and Fred Warner. Hello.
Throw the ball, Matty. Throw the ball. Dak hasn't got any INTs this year yet, does he? They can start that competition this week. Stafford versus Dak.
It's going to be another blowout. All right? Let's just put it. We're going to take the division and say it's ours after this game. And we ain't looking back. And the next tough game we got is Dallas.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, TJ Watt is far better than Micah Parsons.
Yeah,
right?
I was thinking about that.
Because TJ Watt can bull rush you. He can speed rush you. He's been in a defensive player of the year. He's got the all-time sack single-season record. No, TJ Watt is a player. Micah Parsons got 11 sacks last year, and he didn't even make the top 5 voting for Defensive Player of the Year last year.
And Phil, remember early in the season, they were saying Micah Parsons is the premier defender in the NFL. It was about 6 weeks into the season, 7 weeks. And they said, well, what about Nick? And they wouldn't talk about Nick.
You didn't even see him on the top 5. So we got Nick, we got Hargrave, we got Armstead. Kinlaw played a great game.
Yes, he did, didn't he?
He played a great game.
Good backup. Javon got a sack. I figure he'll get better.
The whole defensive line was just dominating. And that's a better offensive line
than the Rams got.
Pittsburgh than the Rams have.
Yep.
So Seattle sucks. 2 years ago, we were putting Seattle as one of the worst teams in the league. They crept up on everybody. They thought, they're the greatest thing now since sliced bread.
Yep.
Now they're going back to where they were projected 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Bottom.
But the talking heads around the league, they love Seattle for some reason. Emerald City is their place. They all want to go see the great Oz. I'm telling you right now, that's going to stop. I give it another 2 weeks, I'll stop talking about them.
They just don't love the 49ers.
Well, and then there's that.
You know what? It's us against the world.
Yeah. Oh, God, you took a page out of Don Burr's book. Oh, no.
Let it be that. You know what? But you know what? I have every confidence in this team. But, with all the negative talk, we're still on top of every power ranking that everybody, even Florio, put out the 49ers as number 1 in the power ranking.
And you know how bad he would hated to do that.
Oh, I know that. Whew. So, Florio, CBS, ESPN, NFL Network, all put the 49ers number 1.
Yeah.
So,
I saw that. I was delighted.
It's all their worst nightmare.
Yeah.
We're number 1.
Yeah.
And we're going to stay that way.
Yeah,
so,
I tell you.
Ronbo,
yeah.
Relax. We've got this.
I'm going to stay calm now because I get all worked up. I said, oh, Jesus, man. We got to go all the way out to Pittsburgh. That's already bothering me right now. TJ Watt's over there chomping at the bit to get at us. And I just know they're going to play physical, and we're going to come out with somebody's going to get hurt. I was going through all kinds. I was a basket case.
You know what I'm going to like? when we go out to Philadelphia and beat their ass.
Oh, that's going to be, oh my God.
So,
You know Brock's ready.
anyway.
Oh, Brock's going to have, I'll call it right now. That's going to be Brock's best game of the year because Brock wants everybody to know, look, they beat me because I got hurt, but they didn't beat me because
Not only
I wasn't
that,
capable.
Are you?
Oh, yeah, everybody wants a piece of it.
Think about it.
Ooh.
They're all going to be fired up for that game.
I hope we leave Sunday night after that game and fly out to Philly and work out all week. I don't want any time. I want them to get rested. I want them to be perfectly crisp and sharp. Oh. Phil, we're going to go.
Ronbo,
I know,
we got
don't worry.
this.
I know.
Remember
I know.
that.
I do. I won't forget.
And, trust me.
I do. I do.
We're
You're right
there.
9 out of 10 times. Phil, I'm going to see you
I know.
Friday and get that
Unlike
score
Big
ready.
Show, unlike Big Show, but I'm not perfect like Big Show says he is. All right, Ronbo, you take care.
You too. Looking forward to talking
And
to you
I'll
Friday.
call you after the game when we crush the Rams.
Okay, well,
All
I
right?
can wait till then. That'll be fun. All right.
All right.
All right,
Later.
Phil. Later.
Okay, bye.
Bye. And Phil's so much fun, and he's always right about these things. Rodney, by the time we play the Cowboys in Week 5, the Niners and boys, both will be undefeated. Ooh, setting it up for the battle of the unbeaten in the Niners. Is that a night game? That's got to be a night game. Oh, that's got to be prime time. If not, it'll definitely get flexed. No doubt about it. Evan.
Hey, Ronbo, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. You know, after we crunched the numbers and seen some of the things that individuals did, unlike that at night after the game, we're all emotional and just feeling good and saying anything and everything. Now we got the facts behind us. Evan, has your opinion of that game changed in any shape, way, fashion, or form? Or do you want to add something to it? And how about that Patrick Peterson? I think he ought to be a Dallas Cowboy. Evan,
He got humbled pretty quick, didn't he?
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he got humbled.
Peterson's
pretty
still
quick
talking,
after that,
though. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe the Rams will start talking too and fire up the guys before Sunday seems to work for us.
You know, their fans like to talk. You'll rarely hear anything from the Rams. You notice that? But Rudy's out there running his mouth and running myths and rumors and threatening us. Rudy's threatening us for the year after next. You guys better win it this year because we're coming next year. What are you talking about? You've got a bunch of rookies that are going to be in stage 2 by next year. And now and Stafford's not going to last the whole season. Okay, I'm sorry. He pushes all my buttons.
They got the youngest team in the league on paper. So, I mean, they haven't seen the Niners' speed. I know it's only been one game, but you know, from the way the Seahawks looked, you know, it wasn't. I think Geno might have had just one of those fluky years where
he got lucky for a whole year.
I don't know if it was luck or he just was praised by the football gods and got paid and.
And by Evan, on that subject, by the way, he slid the last few weeks of the season. All that height he reached earlier in the year, he slid right on down toward the end of the season. So he became back to himself more so toward the end of the season. So this is pretty much just a continuation from the end of last year.
Yeah. But one thing I did want to bring up is you and I were both complaining about the coverage being so soft.
Mm-hmm.
I went back and watched the film, and
22.
I watched a couple of plays from last season, and it seems like at the start of every game, we got burnt for big play after big play after big play.
Yeah, I do.
So I think
that.
the adjustment that what the defensive coordinator made,
Coach Wilkes,
was to play soft, so no one got behind us, and I think his philosophy was just to keep everything in front of him and then strip and try to punch the ball out. I mean,
yeah, but I got
that's just my
Talanoa
thinking.
back there. I just hope at some point he takes a little bit of trust in those guys. Let them play a little man every now and then. Just have to be, but let's make that hybrid, that defense a hybrid. I don't want it always zone.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just think that's what, that was the logic there because, going back and watching, like, for example, the Dolphins game, the very first play of the game, they smoked us for like 75 yards.
Yeah. You got to play off on Hill.
So.
I got no problem with that. In fact, I want a guy backing up the backup. Tyreek Hill is not human. He can bust the game wide open. I've already picked the Miami Dolphins to win that division. If they stay healthy.
Yeah, my buddy's a Chargers fan. When they played last week, we were watching the game, and they were leaving that corner by himself. The safety wasn't even hovering in that area, and he was having a field day.
And I see the embarrassment on the highlight. Oh my God!
Yeah. But yeah, I think it sucks to say, but if you can hop in a time machine and go back to the draft, we drafted Trey and picked up Penei Sewell, knowing what we know now.
I know.
Our team would be so solid. I think we're just, 2 pieces away from being just the most elite team in the league.
That offensive line gets good.
That right tackle, and that nickel. If we had those spots shored up, the only team that can beat us is us.
Jesus Christ would have to be one of the players on the team, because I'm like I said before the season started. Look at that offensive lineup. Who's going to stop George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk, and one of the best fullbacks in the game, if not the best? Did you see how busy Juszczyk was in this game? Oh, he's the unsung hero every week. I'm telling you right now, I don't know how you're supposed to beat that team. We're not going to stop all those weapons at once.
Ronbo, it's funny, the last time, before Steve Young came around, I was 4 years old watching the Niners with my dad. I still remember sitting on his lap watching them. And this team, if you think about it, if they keep it up, the way they're built right now, it's a lot like that 84 championship team. I'm not saying that Brock Purdy's Montana and Ayuk is Rice, but if you think about it, they had their elite 1 receiver. They had a good 2 in Taylor. They had a good fullback in Rathman. They had a good running back in Craig. And in the safety position, they had Ronnie Lott.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember, all the stuff on the team, but that core is very similar as far as the way the team's built.
Pro Bowlers at all those positions. Yep. It's tough.
So, like I said, even with the roster we have, I think, the only people that can beat us is us. Hopefully, Lenore and Huff and Gibson don't get, silly unnecessary roughness calls because, like it or not, that's what chased Jimmy Ward out of town, because every time he did something like that, they just zoom in on Kyle's face and you can just see the steam coming out of his ears.
Jaws will be so tight. Listen, look up. Demo got better and better at the outside. I look for Demo to do the same thing in a slot. I just give him. He's the kind of player that just give him time. This is new for him. He'll get it. I'm more worried about Ambry Thomas on the outside. You know what, though? With what the coach wants him to do, I guess he did his job, though. Anyway, tell you what, Evan, we're going to go, and I'll see you Friday. Have your score ready so we can laugh and shuck and jive for the prediction night Friday.
Sounds good.
All right.
Well, I'll tap in.
Looking forward to it, Evan. Thanks for getting in here, too. Night, fam.
Shout out to the usual suspects and you in production.
Thanks, fam. Night, Evan.
Night.
Well, it's a big show. It's a big show. Hey, Show.
Yes, sir.
Well, Show, you've been accused of a lot of things, and usually it's the same thing. But, Show, beyond that, do you have something you want to say about this game? Other were you with us after the game the other night?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I admitted my wrongs and
Yeah, I
moved
thought
on,
so.
but clearly some people haven't, and I like to address that right now. I love how people like to come out on here and pick on my wrongs, but never admit when they're wrong. You know what you call those types of people, Ronbo?
What do you call
Cowards.
them? They all love you though. Sure.
Number one, did it? Oh, I know, I love him too. But number one, didn't he see we were not trading Trey Lance this year, and it was going to cost us around $9 to $10 million if we did trade him?
Ooh.
Those are both wrongs.
We didn't know Jerry Jones had lost his mind though, and pick up all that tab.
I mean, I base my projection and analysis off of the news that we are fed, and news changes so quickly that it's hard to tell which way it's going to lean, and it could lean either way, and it changes last minute. Honestly, it really does, and it's, you know, like, I don't care if I'm right or wrong. That's not what I'm on here for. I say what I feel and feel what I say. Like, feel what I say, and I don't give two shits whose feelings I'm hurting. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I said we were going to lose this game because my projection was based off of the weather, which we do not do well in drenched games. Look at the Washington Commanders game. Yeah. Look at the Baltimore Ravens game. Look at the Chicago Bears game. Like, we did not do so well in those games in wet weather.
It was so wrong.
We scored very
Not
low.
a drop of rain fell, and it was warm out there.
Yeah,
you didn't even need a jacket.
That was a huge blessing for us, and the weather held up, and we ended up stomping them. And I had us losing in a close game, 23-20, which we did not lose, obviously. Yeah. And that was all predicated off of Nick Bosa signing, which it did end up happening last minute, 2 days before we headed out to Pittsburgh. And
fired the
that
team up.
Changed a lot.
It made the difference in the sentiment too. The guys were fired up.
It really did. Yeah, and so, like, those were what my opinions was based off in these games, and they were claimed as doom and gloom and negative, and a lot has changed since the time we landed in Pittsburgh. And so people don't like to hear the truth, but apparently everything turned out in our favor. So, and it did. And I believe it or not, I have us winning all the way up until the bye week. So.
Well, there you go. Look at that. Shows trying to tell you. He bases his observations off of some research and number crunching. He's you know.
I mean, it's not, football's not rocket science. I mean, come on. You know, a lot of people think that I don't know what I'm talking about, which I do. I've been following football since I was 11 years. I've been following football since I was 11 years old. I'm 37 now. I know this game like the back of my hand. I'm not an idiot, and I'm always pessimistic when it comes to football because shit can turn sideways so fast.
And it's
not even funny.
Very often. So when is the bye week?
That's where the pessimism comes from. You know. So I can't remain positive like some people on here like they do. It's hard. It's hard to. Look at what happened to Aaron Rodgers.
Oh.
I mean, come on. That's, you know.
Whoa.
They were so hyped up and so ready for them to make the playoffs finally, and then bam. That's how fast shit can turn sideways on us, just like that.
First play.
Like, this is exactly why I'm not on here screaming, "Oh, Super Bowl, yes." That's not me, and it never will be.
You know, but injuries can never be a part of the calculation because you just don't know who's going down. But yeah, exactly. It ends up being that way.
The NFC game last year didn't teach us anything, and Aaron Rodgers week 1 didn't teach us anything. Then take your tinfoil, like take your helmet. Helmets are red and gold goggles off. My God, people, come on! Like shit can happen, like just like that with the snap of a finger.
And usually does. Oh God.
Yes, historically, ever since Shanahan's been here, it has happened.
Well, we do have to use some protection.
Exactly, and that's what I was going to bring that's where I was going to bring my next point up.
Go right ahead.
Is the offensive line. That was a huge area of concern of mine after the game because I went and looked at somebody had posted a that T.J. Watt had gotten 3 sacks, and that was all from the right side of the offensive line.
Oh, and
if that trajectory
you
continues,
predicted
then
that.
we need to address that.
Oh, today.
We need to address that in
Kyle
the
already did.
trade deadline before the October 31st, because I quite honestly, I'm not too fond of our offensive line depth. Lyle Collins is out there now, who's only 30 years old, and he's a clear, better upgrade. Yes, he's been injured. Granted that he's a clear, better upgrade over Matt Pryor, though. I would release Matt Pryor and sign Lyle Collins, and I would also go trade for a right guard because Spencer Burford is not it. He's been a liability since game 1. He's been
But he
causing
was
multiple
better last year.
penalties that
I
game 1.
don't understand how you take a step
That
back.
doesn't always carry into next year, though. Come on.
You would think he learned some things in the first year, though. I'm surprised
Clearly,
at
he
that.
hasn't. Yeah, and so like it's time to address that right guard spot, and I think we'll be fine if we do. Honestly, like that's if that trajectory continues and the sacks continue to trickle on down from the right side of the offensive line, and like I don't want anything to
And
happen
he
to
didn't
Brock
even
at
see
all.
that.
Nothing
He
at
didn't even
all.
see
And
TJ coming. That's what scares me so bad because you
No.
know what? He hits that arm the wrong way. Oh my God.
yeah,
But TJ's
so
a
they better
gentleman.
adjust that right
He didn't
guard
try to
spot.
rip his arm off. He just went and took his body down. But
Address the right
everybody's not
guard
going to be
spot,
like that.
release Matt Pryor. Address the right guard spot, release Matt Pryor, and sign Lyle Collins, who's a better upgrade over Matt Pryor, I think. Granted, he's been injured quite often, but I think a change of scenery does players wonders, like a Christian McCaffrey.
McCaffrey.
He's
that's
always healthy here, and he was always injured in Carolina.
Because McCaffrey's a cheat code. Teams don't have a chance as long as he's with that group. So we're gonna have to go. And
All right, shout out to everyone. All right,
all
y'all
right.
take care.
Appreciate your show.
Good night.
Good night. Yeah, McCaffrey, he's a highlight reel. You're going to get at least 1 or 2 plays from McCaffrey every week he's on the field. At least. Every week. He amazes me. All right, let's go on out to Tennessee. Tennessee. Lord, Papa Dragon and the Dragon Clan.
What's up, Ronbo? How you doing, buddy?
Doing all right. You know, we just went over some numbers and seeing how well and how bad we did at the same time. And it's interesting to see them low numbers from the offensive line across the board, including the mighty Trent Williams. And we still got past them people.
Well, you know, it's very interesting when you think about it. You know, if you look at the facts and you look at the truth of what's happening here, you know, playmakers win games. So I really believe that Christian McCaffrey and the defensive line is going to win a lot of games.
Yep.
Number one. Number two, you know, the 49ers are coming off their 11th straight regular season win.
Ooh.
All of which involve Christian McCaffrey.
I know.
We came into this season under a lot of turmoil. And by the time the Steeler game started, 2 days before the Steeler game started, if you would have told me what the truth was going to be, I would have laughed in your face. And the truth was 11 straight victories, Nick Bosa signs, and you have the most cap space in the league with $40 million.
Ain't that amazing?
On top of that, you have an injured quarterback coming back who's not 100%, which is obviously because there's no zip on those passes. And he's nickel and diming all the way down the field, but they couldn't stop it. So I think what the league should be scared of right now is I still believe that the 49ers are slow starters. And if that game in Pittsburgh is a slow start, if I'm in this league, I'm a little bit worried about them 49ers.
Because if they're going to get better,
Think about it. Just think about that for a second. that was a slow. The only person who didn't start slow was a person who was not indoctrinating in that culture, and that's Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey, he's already in midseason form. The offensive line isn't.
Mm-hmm.
I think Brock Purdy is. I think he looks very similar to what he was before.
Don't leave Brandon Ayuk out.
Exactly. I don't understand how this is happening, but I will give a lot of credit to Kyle Shanahan. The game plan, for the first time in a long time, he did something that I was calling for, which was a hurry up offense. Okay, to put pressure on the defense, and they pretty much ran hurry up most of the first half. A lot of short passes, screens, and that opened up. Yep. He went left and right, and he opened up the middle, and Purdy improvised a couple times. Because let's face it, Purdy's processing is approaching elite level. Yeah. His inner pocket speed is next level. His ability to innovate and create when the play breaks down is very close to elite level. And I say close because I don't need him to be he doesn't need to be Drew Brees. He doesn't need to be Joe Montana. He just needs to get rid of the ball. And as long as he gets rid of the ball like he's doing, they'll have a lot of success provided to keep the down and distance short. Because I sat there and watched the television, and I kept pointing at the screen, and I'm showing everyone in my little football party where the ball's going, and the ball went there every time. That maybe once or twice, which is pretty much between the hashes. That's where he's going. So it's still kind of predictable at this point. But you know it's not predictable.
But you know what, though, Pop? I just want to piggyback on that part, though. George Kittle, Kyle Shanahan's, don't call us. George Kittle's routes are not where they should be. His leg is still hurting. Actually, what's his name should have made that pick. But George's got to get in and out of that route and get some distance in there so that ball's not picked. It scared me to death. I said, George is moving like his leg is still hurting. But anyway.
But George is part of that. George is part of that Kyle Shanahan, that little Cabo
party.
Not ready to play. I mean, Williams is not ready. These guys are ready to play, and they won't be until mid-October. But damn it, Ronbo, that defensive line. Holy good Lord.
Wasn't he a pleasant surprise? That dude, that one sack Drake had made me laugh so hard. The dude thought he got away. And Drake standing there and said, "Oh," and then grabbed his ass. He said, "Look at Drake stood there and waited for him to look up. And then he took Pickett down. I said, what is that? I love it."
Drake. I just knew Drake had to take advantage of his opportunities.
Yes.
Because all those sacks, there were people getting flushed to him. Because they had no other place to go. So Jake's got to he's got to take advantage of those opportunities. But yeah, I really want to see him win 1-on-1 in under 2.5, 3 seconds. Right now, what's happening is that, Pickett was running from this guy, running from that guy. Oh, crap, here's Drake. That's kind of what was happening with Drake. I'm not taking nothing away from him.
No, I agree. They were coming where Drake could find them, and he found them. So let him keep doing that. Yeah.
No, I'm not mad at it. I'll take it. I'll take it every day of the week. But this defensive line and McCaffrey's going to carry this team. The only criticism I had, I think a lot of fans had this criticism, because I really don't think that Kyle Shanahan, for a good number of fans right now, we're looking at him sideways right now. And what I mean by that is that, we want Shanahan to show better leadership and make better in-game decisions. And that means taking your star players out when the game is in hand, or more importantly, trusting your other players. Because right now, Christian McCaffrey he's basically on pace to touch the ball close to 500 times this year.
Yep. And he promised us he wasn't going to do that this year. And
exactly.
But the media conference, they asked him about that today, and he went on to explain, I would have loved to have done that, but I've had experiences with that. Shanahan cannot get over. Remember that year in Detroit when we had a 41 point something? I forgot but the game Suddenly, Detroit was right up on our butts. It was a fourth quarter with us a couple minutes to go, and I'm sitting below this, underneath my chair. I don't believe this. So Shanahan's still shell-struck. Shanahan said he still goes back and looks at that game, and he does not know what happened. I said, Kyle, you know what?
It's the same thing. It's his biggest weakness is that he panics when it's time for him to make an end game adjustment. And sometimes the end game adjustment is just run the ball, put some big dogs out there, and just run the ball straight up the middle. Don't be pretty. Just run the ball. Take time off the clock. And then when it gets close,
you got Jordan Mason.
If it gets close in the fourth quarter, there's 4 minutes left. Bring Christian back in.
Right? That's what I was saying. You could still bring these guys back in, but in the meanwhile, let Elijah play, Kyle. Jordan Mason, let him play.
Exactly. So, $40 million under the cap, they got to make some changes. I don't think Burford's a lost cause. I just think that you can't stick to C level or C minus level offensive linemen next to each other.
Yes.
Like if you need to stick someone, a better right tackle next to Burford, and then Burford can grow. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like he's not going to be able to grow next to a scrub.
I know Burford.
God, man, 28. She is scrub. I'm sorry. And number two, another part of his mistake is that Shanahan continues to rely on his scheme to protect his quarterback. Dog, you better put a real tight end over there next to McClivitz, because guess where Watt lines up? He lines up on the right tackle. And Chill Pill Phil.
Real quick.
TJ Watt is not way better than Parsons. Parsons plays defensive end, linebacker, middle linebacker, nickel, and safety in one game. That's not way better. He may be better at pass rushing from the left side against the right tackle, but Parsons is everywhere.
Probably need to go. And I can't wait till Friday. Before we get ready for fun time in L.A. We're wearing our red uniforms just to bother the people in Los Angeles.
Hey, Rudy, come on. Rudy, get the grills ready, okay? Get the coolers ready. Make sure the 49er logos are on there. We're coming to take over SoFi because it's our house, Rudy.
Yes.
It's our house. And I'm sorry, Rudy. I'm sorry. This is what you have to understand. This defensive line makes every quarterback looks bad. Yes, except for the bastards that can run. But Stafford can't run from us. And now when you throw the ball down the middle of the field, there ain't no Jaquiski Tart there to drop the ball.
No.
You got three safeties that can catch, baby. Yes. You got three safeties that can catch.
And they're famous for it.
I'm telling you right now, you can catch. All right, Ronbo. Shout out to everyone. Shout out to Chill Pill Phil, Big Show, the three Tonys, production, and shout out to you, brother Ronbo.
Thanks.
Without you, none of this is possible.
Yeah,
and I guess you have a new name now, Your Honor.
What is that? Oh yeah. Judge Ronbo. I love it.
Should be Judge Big Show. Judge Big Show. That's what we need. Big Show would be a good judge. All right.
You're my best of Bam and Boom and Mama Dragon. I'll see you Friday.
Oh, all good, man.
Well, I tell you what was good. If I was so I'd meet Rudy. You guys are famous for your tacos. You can't beat us in San Francisco for the burritos, but you could bring a bunch of tacos, and we could actually get along with each other for a few minutes. Oh, Allie and T-Flow. T-Flow, get in here, y'all.
Hey, what's up, Ronbo? Yeah, Allie just jumped in the shower right now.
All right. Yeah, we sit back here, looking at some of the things there's some scary things, T-Flow, because, watching the game, you figure we got this, but then you look at some of the numbers and the offensive line failed. They really did, but we still, just T-Flow though, they failed as bad as they did, and we still did as well as we did. If it wasn't for the penalties, the Pittsburgh Steelers are shut out, So if we get that offensive line to get better, and they can't get any better because they sucked, this season's going to be interesting. But T-Flow, your feelings?
Oh, we were at that game. It was a lot of sea or red.
T-Flow, did you take a flight on out? All right.
Yeah. We went on. We left Wednesday, and we got back yesterday.
All right.
And very friendly, polite Steelers fans, and I was talking a lot of madness at the game. And they had a sign, a banner. I don't know if anybody's seen it or anybody talked about it. They had it. I'm gonna say it's probably like maybe like 20 yards full of a banner that said "Bang Bang Steeler Game."
Oh no! Did anybody say anything?
Oh yeah, I made sure of that. Like there was a group of Niner fans, and I'm like, "Hey man, did you see that?" They're like,
There's a lot of Niner fans. Saw the
clowning the Steelers and all that. But overall, like man, it's just the right side of the line that scares me because we're gonna face some elite pass rushers from Dallas, Cleveland. Well, the Rams, they still got Donald, and we don't have the Donald killer no more. So,
well,
it's gonna be tough run skill.
I can't imagine them looking as bad this Sunday as they did last Sunday because the offensive line did not travel well or something. They just didn't look like themselves. Even Trent Williams was slacking. He allowed a lot of things he never allows. So
yeah, it was just lucky we had a nice lead where basically we could do almost anything we wanted until the second half. But
yeah, it kind of slowed down the second half, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they took their foot off the brake. I gotta rewatch the game again.
They adjusted.
Got home last
the Steelers
night.
Adjusted a little better because Pickett started hitting all his passes. Remember that? Pickett hit about 4 or 5 passes in a row at one point, and I was thinking, "Uh-oh, what's going on here?"
And also too, I was trying to yell at Shanahan like get CMC out of the game. It's already fourth quarter. We got the lead.
Especially
Take him
that
out.
big of
It's
a
week
lead.
one.
You know,
It's week one, man. Like, dude, like just like other callers were saying, Christian is known for getting hurt, and if you're gonna keep on running him like this, he's gonna eventually get hurt because Kyle Shanahan gets every single running back hurt in his tenure with the 49ers.
I don't say it too
he has
full,
to
but you
know
know
how
what?
to
It's
limit.
absolutely true, though. The running back always gets hurt before the season's over. That's why he's got to. He doesn't want to use Mitchell probably because he knows there is no doubt about Mitchell is going to get hurt. But Jordan Mason is not bad. Use him.
We got TDP. TDP didn't even dress that game.
No, he was.
Like,
He
dude,
only
like,
dressed
you
his 3
got
backs.
all these running backs for a reason, right? If
Mason
they
did well.
weren't good, you should have got a. We could have kept the. We could have kept the. Was it Jameson? Like the corner, we could have kept him. We could have kept another offensive lineman if you weren't going to use running backs. Like if you're not going to use these running backs, like man, we could have had that. We could have had that lineman that we lost. Like, come on, dude. Like,
Seems like there's a
use
couple
them,
others too I want
right?
to keep, but yeah.
It's week one. We had a nice lead. Yeah, you know what? Put in Mason. Put more Elijah Mitchell, or something, because there's no need of putting CMC at risk of injury.
But he did get a touchdown. I kind of enjoyed that. He left CMC in there, and he busted one all the way to the house.
That was a great touchdown. I was like all the Steelers fans. Oh, there's like 10 of them around us. There's nothing but Niners where I was sitting at.
Yeah.
Man, it was like they were getting annoyed at me.
Well, yeah. I mean, can you imagine? You're sitting up there, and who was that got a conversation from a Steelers fan saying, "Yeah, we figured that's gonna be a cakewalk." Like what? He said that? I forgot who.
Really good, Steve. Yeah, because that was my birthday.
Ah, happy birthday, fam.
Wifey took me out for my birthday, so
She took you all the way to Pittsburgh, but ain't that special?
yeah.
T-Flow, yo. But T-Flow, I got to tell you,
yeah.
man, you know, I just expect Brock Purdy look like midseason form. I can't wait to see what he looks like as the weeks go by. Offensive line, they
Purdy
have
looked
to
good.
get better. So
Purdy looked really good, but like it did float there a couple times. It didn't look like he had that zip live. But I said, I got to rewatch the game.
And they're going to be
Other
trying
than that,
they're going to be
he
looking to
looked
try
good.
to.
There was a couple of scares when he was getting rushed and getting sacked because of the right side. Like, I was like, damn, don't get hurt. Don't get hurt. Because we're going to go after Donald, and Donald might, try to get mad for retribution for us always whooping his ass.
I hope they scheme him up like they always, because Aaron Donald does not have a lot to do of the last few years with what goes on with them games. Have you noticed that? Brunskill
Yeah.
And they usually, the center would take him out. But if Aaron's smart,
Brunskill and
right
Debo is, those are the daddy right there.
Yeah.
Of Aaron.
Brunskill and who's ever at center. Also, George Kittle. We'll always have a tight end. You still want Aaron to get loose.
Oh, yeah. But all I know is, like, hey, the Niners travel well. You know what? There was a lot of Steelers fans that were saying, you know what, you guys, I didn't think you guys traveled that much because the closest one that travels a lot was Green Bay, and you guys beat Green Bay, like, for the most fans in that stadium.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
Really? It's a lot to, people, we're going to go. I'll tell you what, I'm going to see you Friday. Bring that score with you, and we'll see you soon. Appreciate you, Phil.
Let's get a little Niner shout-out, Ronbo.
Yes. A Niner! T-Flow. Give my best to Allie. See you on Friday.
All right, Ronbo, have a good night.
Thanks, Phil.
Lael Collins is available, by the way, Rombo. Lael Collins, a right tackle.
Lyle plays the right side?
And I was talking about Anthony Davis earlier, who retired. Anthony Davis could still come back and play some good football.
And Anthony did play the right side. He's not like he didn't know what he's doing. I wonder what kind of condition he's in. That was a while back. That's a long time ago. Anyway, Jack, thanks for that. Hey, Nigel. Jack's doing research. I'm trying to find a right side. McKibbins,
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah, go ahead. How you doing?
Oh, hey, what's going on, Ronbo? It's been a while since I called in.
Yeah, it has. Things are improving now since then, though. Actually, Nigel, we talked last year. The team was good last year. But this year, they're just going to be, I got a feeling they're going to be even better because guys have been playing together. Christian McCaffrey's got a whole offseason to learn the program, and it looked like it yesterday. Sunday, it really looked like it, too. And our offensive line wasn't doing that much work. Christian was still bust the move. What's that dude's name? Instead of 3, 4, 5, 6, bust the move. Anyway, Christian was just ridiculous, man. So let's see what happens weeks ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we just got to hope for them all to stay healthy, So I think that's the only thing that concerns me, like everybody else. But, yeah, they're doing, played lights out. Brock played lights out. And I don't know. When I look at him, when he throws the ball, I'm not sure exactly what people are expecting because, to me, he zipped in that 20-yard pass to Ayuk right at the corner of the end zone, and it landed right in Ayuk's hand. I'm not sure what people exactly are expecting from him, but I think
Tifo even said his passes were floating. It doesn't look like it on the TV. I don't know.
I know. I guess maybe in person it looks a little different. I'm not sure, but to me, he looks good. He looks great. So I have to miss half of the game though, the first half because my son he started playing flag football. So they had a game Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's his first year playing flag football, Ronbo.
You're more excited than he is, I'll bet too.
Oh, I am. He's already the team captain.
All right.
He's the quarterback. Handed off the ball for downs and played running back and ran it for a touchdown. So, yeah, he's already.
Congrats.
His mom is a Division I track athlete, so he gets that. He has it in his blood.
Division I.
Track.
Oh man. How about you? You athletic?
He was on the track team at Missouri. I played football, basketball throughout middle school and high school, but not after.
No, but the thing is, though, genetically, you're right. Your child already has. Do you know? Is that OBJ, whose mom's also was an Olympian? These things do actually get involved in the children, So, yeah.
That's pretty wild, man. I didn't even know he had that in him, and I was like, what the heck? He's like juking people, and I'm like, it's crazy, man. I got it on my Facebook. I'm like, wow, wild. But anyway, he's pretty good at football, so I'm excited about that. But me and him are actually we're flying out to LA this weekend to go.
Oh, that's perfect.
Join in on it's his birthday on Sunday, so I'm gonna take him to go watch the Rams get their ass whooped. By the Niners, so.
You know what? I'm trying to refrain from thinking that way until the fourth quarter. Because the Rams, I don't know how good or bad the Hawks are, but I'm trying to reserve judgment. It makes no sense for the Rams to be able to stay with the 49ers on the same field, but these things happen. We'll see.
Yeah.
I am predicting 40 points for the 49ers. You know we're 8-point favorites? 8-point favorites? That means there's no wow. But go ahead.
Well, I mean, this team's stacked. This team's stacked everywhere, man. I mean, the offense is looking crazy. I mean, I was hearing people were worried about maybe the defense and this and that, but I'm like, man, I don't know. Anybody was watching, as far as I could tell, I mean, we were just clicking on all cylinders, and like, I think it was Papa Dragon that was saying we usually start off slow, and I'm like, man, he's right.
Every year.
If this is slow, what is it going to look like?
Well, see,
I mean, it just seems like he just continued on from last year, which is amazing. We can continue on with Brock getting us, 25 to 35 points in a game, 30 points a game.
Yeah,
man, we're going to be
as long as Christian McCaffrey's out there. Christian by himself is 14 to 15 points. The rest can just hustle up the rest. We'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, McCaffrey, that touchdown he ran, remember, McCaffrey's the only guy who scored in that NFC CG, and the quarterback was already gone. McCaffrey is frightening. I don't know what an OC or a DC is going to do trying to figure out what to do with McCaffrey. He's going to have at least one highlight play every game, every week.
Oh, the guy's amazing, man. We're undefeated with him, so. But, I just, like I mentioned earlier, the only thing is I just hope for good health for everybody throughout the season, and because I don't see anything else stopping us other than the offensive line being a little bit shaky from time to time. I think for the most part they held up.
Yeah.
I mean, there were some scary times, but with Brock's feet, a lot of people talk about it. The guy has amazing footwork. He's quick as all get out, man. Super quick, and he just needs to, get a couple little things to protect himself, and I think we'll be good, Ronbo. I really do.
Yeah, I agree. So, there's no real reason to worry about Brock. He'll get stronger as the year goes by, too. If people aren't happy with the velocity on his passes, I'm going to be worried about that right now. But the thing is, I am concerned about McKivitz and Burford down on their right side. They can't both have issues. One of them's got to hold up. And I'm sure that's worrying Kyle. He ain't going to say nothing, but you know what? It's got to change. And Kyle just said, well, no, McKivitz is going to get better. Nick Bosa in camp is going to help those guys out, though. We saw Trent Williams fall down a little bit. We've seen McKivitz, of course, looked awful. Well, he wasn't awful, but he wasn't good. So Bosa's got to work those guys. Let them know what it looks like to face somebody who knows what they're doing coming off the edge.
Yeah, because that right side ruined us last year in the NFC Championship game. But hopefully Forrester kind of starts, he's focusing on that right side. Yeah, that's we need our quarterback, man. We need him to be healthy.
I know he is.
And safe as possible, and of course Christian McCaffrey too. So, but anyway, Ronbo, I'll let you. I'm getting ready for bed myself. I just wanted to check in with you because I haven't talked to you in a while.
That, it has been.
No problem, man. But yeah, I'll be out at the game, so hopefully we win it. But yeah, y'all have a good rest of your night, and I'll talk to you later, man.
Looking forward to it, Nigel. Good congratulations to that little guy who did so well this past weekend playing ball. All right.
Yes, sir. All right. Thanks, man. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later. And there he is, DB, Dark Brother. Come on in, fam.
Hey, Ronbo.
Dark Brother.
Hey, man. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Hey, first of all, I just want to say, I think this kid, Purdy, people say he lost one game out of the past 9 games that he played.
What?
The Eagles game. I don't even count that as a loss because he didn't even play a
play.
whole quarter.
Yeah.
He got hurt. In the middle of the first quarter, right? Or at the beginning of the first quarter.
Snap. First series. Wasn't that the first series?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So he didn't play. So I'm calling that a non-game for him.
Yeah.
I think this kid is 8-0 for us.
He is. Now he's 9.
So he's undefeated, right?
Yeah.
Another thing is, so with all this cap space that we created already, over $40 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got to do the right thing, man. Even though we don't have to pay Purdy, he's making $870,000 this year.
Living in the Bay Area, right? An athlete doing what he's doing, and he's got to go find some affordable housing.
Because even though we got him by the contract, you got to do the right thing, man. John Lynch have to sit down with his agent and say, hey, we want to renegotiate this kid's contract. He's a starter for us now. We want to renegotiate his contract to show that he's a starting quarterback for the 49ers, And what I'm looking at is like his skills at the minimum, right? I'm just saying at the minimum, right? It's about the same as Mac Jones, let's say, right? So Mac Jones is making like almost $4 million a year.
Yeah. Is that right?
So I think
Mac Jones at 4? Yeah, because he got drafted at 13 or somewhere down there, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is if they triple the kid's money, they pay him $3 million a year, right?
At least.
Renegotiate his contract. Even though they don't have to, it's the right thing to do.
Not to worry, DB, because at the end of the season, if Brock Purdy does go to the Super Bowl, it's going to be, that already is going to get paid. If he goes in and wins, the 49ers will call him in immediately. I really have a strong feeling about that and see if they can work something out. They say, listen, you're still on your rookie contract. We're going to pay you like you were picked up in the first round. How does $10 million sound for you? And then we'll renegotiate that at the end of this contract. I'll bet you that's what happens.
I think the kid needs money now because, listen, they gave him $77,000 guaranteed money, right?
Mm.
So that money's already spent because, just the rent on his apartment for 2 seasons. That's $77,000 right there.
No, because and also he doesn't want to live in any other neighborhood. Also, he's getting married, I think. I don't know.
He already got married.
He did get married already.
He's already married.
Yeah.
And check this out, Ronbo. Listen, man, the kid just got married. They should have a house, man. They should be able to buy a nice house somewhere. Maybe not in the Bay Area.
That's what not in the Bay Area, though. My God.
Even though he's a starting quarterback in the NFL,
I don't even think Jerry Rice
even buy a house.
I don't think none of our guys live in the Bay Area. You don't buy a house in the Bay Area. It's just ridiculous. Damn.
Listen, right now they just need to give him some money right now somehow as a signing bonus or as some kind of an incentive. Because listen, while all these guys had their time off during the off season, this kid broke his arm in the heat of battle for us. He broke his arm in a game fighting for our team, right? And he ended up spending all of his free off season in rehab just to get back in time to win another game for us in Pittsburgh. Something needs to be done. He needs money now.
I'll tell you what, fam.
He needs money later, too.
And DB, I think what we should do is a GoFundMe account, just on the strength of your conversation alone. People for Brock Purdy, put some money in here.
Listen.
That would embarrass the 49ers, though. And they'd end up saying, look, people, please stop. We're going to pay him. That might work.
Listen, finding some way to slip him a couple $1 million this year it's not going to kill anybody. It's not going to break anybody's bank, Now
remember, he got playoff shares. Remember, he got playoff share money. He's probably going to get playoff shares this year as well. So he's not starving. He deserves more, I agree, but I don't think he's hurting for money.
What he really deserves, you know what? The quarterback situation is so dangerous. What he really deserves is they should work something out where he gets a guarantee. Where if he gets hurt, while playing quarterback, starting quarterback for us, he should get some kind of a guarantee, like, a $3 million, insurance policy for getting hurt.
I got a feeling he's going to be well compensated. We don't need to concern ourselves with that right
it's
now.
a lot for this kid to carry. I mean, this kid's carrying the whole team as a starting quarterback. That's a lot. That's a big load. Bosa's getting paid $30 million a year.
No.
And then Debo is getting paid almost 30. Kittle's getting paid like 20 almost.
He
Nick carries way more.
$50 million in his bank right now, even as we speak. They paid his money up front so that cap hit wouldn't amount to much. The cap hit on Nick Bosa is going to be $10 million a year. Listen, you know what? We got to go though, fam. I'll see you. We got another. Well, go ahead. You got one more. I didn't see the clock. Well, what else you want to add? You got another minute? Go ahead.
I just want you to put it out there and ask some of your other callers to see if they think the kid should get the money now.
we all agree he should get. Well, okay.
He just got married. He's probably going to have a kid coming pretty soon.
You're really deeply taking this seriously.
Just a couple $1 million so he can afford a little starter house in the Bay Area.
He's a country boy. He probably doesn't really care about that money in that fashion. He will later, though, after the baby comes, as you already had. And he's already gotten married.
Anyway, Ronbo, can you give me a shout-out?
Yeah. Niners! For the money! For Brock Purdy! I'll see you Friday. That's funny. He's really passionate about raising funds for the Brock Purdy family. Yo, Ellis.
Ron Bizzle.
Ellis. We're sitting there, man. We're going over some of the numbers, and things were exposed that I didn't see happening during the game. I'm a little concerned, and we all were about that offensive line before the game started. But in the heat of enjoying the game afterward, nobody thought about it. But we had some guys that had numbers down as far as the ratings, 28.7 for Burford. I mean, they played some really terrible football. McKivitz, all the sacks came through him. That can't continue. Yeah, otherwise, though, Alice, some things you want to point out and your feeling on that game?
Well, I definitely see our offense taking it up another notch, this next game after seeing already what can be done, with the collective of, guys that we got as far as the, our weapons are concerned. I want them to start, don't forget about Kyle Juszczyk now, damn it. I know we got the Monstars, of football and shit on our offense or on our team as a whole, but we need to, we need to get them off the scent. If you try to isolate, all the other guys, we always got Juszczyk that's out there wide open, ready to take it for 25 or more yards or go to the house with it.
Yeah.
It's always a house call or 20-something yards or more and shit when he's by himself because he's not just going down. So, I mean, they definitely need to make sure we look out for that.
Design some plays. I agree, though. Yeah, George doesn't mind blocking, and George is having trouble moving.
This is last season.
I'm talking about now
as
well.
This is last season with us,
well, maybe.
At least from what it seems like, unless he's gonna give him a nice, and look, if Juszczyk's not gonna give us a discount after all that money we just paid him just to stay with us, then shit, he might be gone.
Yeah.
He need to go ahead and give us a hometown discount and just come and ride it out until you hang it up.
That's what he needs to do.
But we're not grooming another fullback, though, fam. That's the only thing concerning me. Kyle needs a fullback, at least something like Juice. And it ain't Ross Dwelly.
Well, like I said, if he's not talking too much money-wise and he's willing to give us a hometown discount, maybe that was already in the play, or already in play, and Kyle's probably going to resign, or John and them is going to end up resigning him. But I would like to have him here, just to be a part of this unit, especially with Brock and Debo. We're going to likely extend Brandon Ayuk with the way that at least from what I'm seeing, what we're all seeing, what they're doing with this money. There has to be money that they're putting away and stashing to get ready for Ayuk, and obviously maybe sign one or two players between now and the playoffs or something like that, just in case, some emergency money. But if we don't actually need to utilize that money, then all that money just gets added on to next season, and then now we have, we got plenty of dough. To get ready for Ayuk.
They'll need it. And expansion is going to increase that money. 49ers got more money than anybody in the league right now, which is hilarious. We just signed Nick Bosa to a record-setting contract, and you still have money more than any team in the league. And that's why when the Rams come talking about, you guys can look just like us, so don't start laughing. No, we're not. The 49ers are intelligently planning for the future, unlike the Rams. We know what we're doing.
The management intellect matches the fan intellect. So do what you will with that.
I'm behind that.
Yeah, but the offensive line, I think it's going to come down to, it's like this is going to be a prove it game for McKivitz. I think Burford's going to be all right. Spencer Burford we can't put him and Colt McKivitz in the same boat. Burford started as a rookie. Colt McKivitz wasn't ready to start as a rookie, and he's still not even ready. Going on, what is this? His fourth season?
Somewhere in there, right?
I believe he came in with Trey. If I'm not
was that the same
mistaken?
Year? Yeah, well, it definitely wasn't after.
I believe so.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So third or fourth season, and so he's still, inconsistent. So that just may not be, that gold helmet and all that other shit. That doesn't mean anything.
Remember, that was T.J. Watt, though. Yeah, how many T.J. Watts is he going to see? You know what? I want to see him next
Aaron
week.
Donald. He's got to see Aaron Donald. There's not going to be a drop off this week. So
does Aaron run? Does he come across the? Does he go outside every now and then? I guess he does.
From what I recall, Aaron Donald moves all over the defensive damn line.
He does, but I don't know if he goes all the way to the edge. We'll see, because I think that might not be. He's not that fleet of foot. The ball will be gone before he gets there. Come from the edge.
Yeah. Well, we just need to. We definitely need the offensive line. I mean, Trent even, gave up some plays and whatnot. I mean, this shit
I know.
happens,
That's what I was getting ready to say. Even Trent was looking bad. Oh, for him.
Yeah, I mean, but it happens. It's not going to be. Every play they're not going to be able to sustain or hold or just be mistake free. It's just not realistic. You know what I mean?
The Steelers got a deep defensive line too. Yeah, the Steelers they're not wimps. The Steelers got a defensive line, by the way.
No, they got. That was a great test. That was a great test from the get-go.
They got a couple other guys.
Well,
too.
Hayward went out early though.
He got hurt.
We didn't actually even get to see a full game with him.
See, that's good.
We got lucky with that one. We got lucky with that one because he would have been a problem.
Yeah,
but we'll be good. We'll be good, man. The offense we can keep that 30. Let's go. Let's keep running it up, man. Let's go 30 plus. I already got my score ready, but I'll save it for Friday. But
boy.
This is going to be a good game. Look, now
let up on them. Go, keep scoring all the way into the fourth quarter. I don't care if they take the starters out, but Kyle, keep trying to score. I'd love to see 49-50. I want a 50 burger on the Rams so bad. Second, Rudy, would you be? Can you be quiet now? God, I want to see that so bad.
What I want to see is I want to see Sean McVay running into the end zone, slapping his players on the head like he did last time, getting excited because he thought they was about to whoop on us, and then
get flagged at the same time.
Turn around and got a foot in his ass, and then he had the emoji face with the flat line at the mouth part. You know what I'm saying?
They should have put it across the screen.
He was channeling Aaron Rodgers when he plays us. That's the kind of face that McVay had.
I know.
So, but you know what? Look, lastly, the Rams do have some good offensive weapons. That dude Puka Nasua.
How do you pronounce his name?
I think it's Puka Nasua.
Nasua, yeah, I saw him.
Yeah, he's a wide receiver, a slot wide receiver. Yeah. That boy can play.
I know.
They was talking about him in camp, and he is looking really good. So he's not. They're not really missing a step without having what the hell is his name?
Kupp.
Cooper Kupp. He's damn near filling in for him perfectly. He looks like he's not even missing. So they'll be better once they get him later on in the season. But Kyron Williams, that running back, he's not bad. He was running really good for him last week. And Tutu Atwell's took a step up as well. So they still got some weapons. And, Sean McVay put together some plays. So we got to come to play.
We do.
This ain't going to be no cakewalk. We got to come and play full quarters.
True, but Ellis, one thing the 49ers do love to do, and it looks like they take it personally to even go down to L.A., dudes be coming out of a bag playing the Rams. The only reason the 49ers lost in that NFC CG is from fatigue. Had them beat all the way to the fourth quarter. 49ers got tired. And you know what? They ain't tired now. We'll see what happens for Sunday. They ain't got the same people either.
It's a dub, though. It's a dub. It should be a dub.
It should be.
So the only time we lose games, Ronbo, is when we don't play up to our standard. Exactly. Even if the other team plays up to their standard, we're still the better team, and we come out victorious. So
we'll beat that man.
Do what you will with that.
All right, man. I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna see you Friday and bring that score with you. I'm glad you withheld it, and you can explain it Friday. All right.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate you, fam. Thank you.
Appreciate you, Ellis.
Platform as
always. Shout
always.
out to that squad too. All right, fam.
Thank you, family. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, man. You know where you're at. Wipe your feet. Shout out to Papa Dragon and what's his name? What's my guy's name? Shout out to all the Tonys.
Oh, Tony.
And what's Evan? Shout out to Evan.
Yeah.
And shout out to the Donut family, man. Shout out to y'all.
Donut T. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. All right. All right, I'm going.
All right, Ellis. Hey, Tony.
Ronbo.
Tony, there was a few disappointing numbers in the 49ers' overall production, but not enough to help out the Steelers. And when I was celebrating that game, I was just grateful to having gone to Pittsburgh, because you and I both agreed the Steelers are nobody's wimps. You go to Pittsburgh, you better bring game, because otherwise you could get ran out of town with your tail between your legs. So, but the fact of the matter is, our offensive line got their ass handed to them. Woo! Brock just played a good game.
Ronbo, I don't know if you remember a couple of weeks ago when I said to you, I'm going to judge my team like I judge all my teams, NRL, NFL, and that is how they come out of the blocks. And I was sitting up in bed at 3 o'clock in the morning. My wife was asleep next to me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw Fred Warner knock the stuffing out of Najee Harris, I went, whoa, these boys are coming to play today.
You're fired up.
That's what I mean by how they come out of the blocks. And that just set the tone for the rest of the game.
Yep.
And I thought, how dare that Najee Harris to run that ball again. I don't think I've seen him for the rest of the game after that hit.
They did use him sparingly. I don't know if they were afraid for his health, or did Najee just say, look, I just assume you give me less carries if that's okay with you, Coach.
We haven't come out like that, Ronbo, since 2019 when we went 8-0.
Yeah.
That
young and
team was
inspired
on
at
fire.
that time.
I mean,
yeah.
Fred Warner, Drake Jackson, that's what Nick Bosa does. He frees up the rest of the dudes. Two or three sacks. What did he get?
Drake was just
Brandon
having a field day.
Cleveland Farrell had a good game.
Yeah, he did.
Mooney Ward got an interception. Put the needle on the record. The CMC Music Factory. We're seeing what he done.
But Fred is interesting. Fred hadn't played this inspired. Fred always plays stuff. But Fred now, as according to Javon Carway, man, I'm standing behind him. I can hear Fred hollering before he even gets to the play. Fred's coming in like, bam! You know? I wish I could see this.
I think he's been given the green light from
Coach? Maybe.
Yeah.
Because Fred has lost his mind out there. I love it.
Yeah. Well, that's how he wants to play. And
good.
I think Mr. Stevie Wilkes has given him the green light as opposed to the other guys where they probably held him back a little bit.
Oh, yeah, well, or maybe one of them stayed disciplined within the system. But, yeah, Fred Warner's he's just lost it, man. And Dre Greenlaw even looks like, and Greenlaw was outplaying Fred at one point last year. I don't know if you agree or not, but Greenlaw was actually moving his ass every play. It was Dre. Fred said, that's enough of that, y'all. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm the baddest dude out here playing linebacker. And it looked like it Sunday.
Well, if you remember Greenlaw, he run that dude down and saved the touchdown. He had a blinder of a game as well. But Talanoa Hufanga, that hit that he sandwiched that dude in the end goal. Oh, sure, Jesus. That's how you play football.
And he's supposed to have a leg issue?
I thought that guy caved his rib cage in after that hit. I thought, Jesus, I'm going to take him out on a stretcher after that.
I knew he was going to get stronger because Talanoa wasn't that strong when he first came in. He hit hard, but it wasn't that big of a sting. And now he's putting in that grown man, that NFL training strength to it. He's hitting harder, isn't he? He is hitting harder.
He is hitting harder. Well, look who his teacher is.
Well, yeah. He's got Gibson over there. And, that's, man. Him and Gibson are close.
No, not Gibson.
Who?
His teacher, his mentor.
Oh, the legend. Yeah,
exactly.
Maybe he said something about it too. Look, brother, you're not hitting like I want you to hit. I'm gonna teach you what. I'm gonna tell you what. Let's get in that weight room, and don't start with one plate on each side either. Put two on, man, and warm up with. What? Get out of it. I can just see it now. You got to get stronger. That's it.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
You better believe it. In the off season, he trains with him. Well, he's his mentor. He's his idol. So
Palomalo, but Palomalo. Palomalo was a combination of strength and size and speed. So yeah, see,
those boys have got big bones, man.
They do, but Troy's not. I mean, he's not as strong as Troy. I mean, when I look at, he's built a little differently. It could be a wiry type of build. He can still be strong though. But Troy was just a thug. I mean, huge. So.
Yeah, but you know how it goes, Ronbo. You know, as a young kid, you start off digging trenches or doing some hard labour job, and if you're still there 10 years later,
you're stronger.
You know, you slap somebody across the face and your hands are like house bricks, you know.
Yeah. True. It's just to say grown man strength. Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll get there. And he's no fear. I mean? So, yeah.
But there's only one thing I would say about that game that I was disappointed about, and it's one bitch slap for Kyle Shanahan for not taking Christian McCaffrey off the field.
He got asked about that by the media as well. And he explained.
My way of thinking, Ronbo, is the guys that you got on the sideline when you got an insurmountable lead, like Mason and Bell, give him some time.
Give him some burn.
Let him knock. Give him some burn. Let him knock the rust off. Get a few hits into them so they can,
in the long run,
get some game fitness.
Absolutely. Those guys get ready.
I don't think they would have let the team down a bit, not even a half a step. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's no second CMC on the team, but I don't need him with that kind of a lead. Just let those guys do whatever they're going to do. I don't care. If things go south real quick, okay, bring CMC back in. But in the meantime, yes, let's use some of these other guys, Kyle. Or did they not get any snaps during the week or what?
You don't even need him. There'll be no drop-off, Ronbo. I mean, you've seen Mason go for a 60-yard run into the end zone.
He wants to make that up and make it all in the end zone, too.
So get the boys on the field. Give them some play time when you got that much of a lead, you know?
Maybe this weekend, Tony,
go.
because the media embarrassed Kyle. You could see it in his face. He kept asking him the same thing we're talking about now. And Kyle came up with some reason about what happened in Detroit and everything. John, get over it. It's not going to happen every game. Let those guys play, man. Take your starters out.
One more thing, Ronbo, that I think you'd find funny. I was listening to the day after the game, 95.7 the game, and Rudy rang up. Bonte sent him to hell. He goes, "Are you a Rams supporter?" He goes, "What are you doing calling me? I'm going to serve you up some humble pie on Sunday. You're going down. Get out of here." And he just hung up on him.
I didn't know about that. Thanks for sharing that, Tony. He was bothering Wade Breezy talking his madness, too. He is so God.
Somebody can find that soundbite, put it up on Twitter. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, I'm going to search it out myself. Tony, I'm going to see you Friday, and we'll get ready for this beat down. All right?
It's a bye week next week.
Wear the red uniforms like it's a home game. All right, Tony, have a great day.
All right, brother. Shout out to everybody, and see you in the next one.
Looking forward to it.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, Tony. Boy, Rudy, why? They don't have any Rams places you can go. What's the bother? That's fine. He's 95.6. You get somebody fired. It's funny he didn't cuss you out. Hey, Jalen. Jalen.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Jalen.
Cardinals, y'all irrelevant. Rams, y'all some bombs. Seahawks, I'm going to Lincoln. 10 years in counting. Damn it, I know that can't be fun. Ronbo.
Yes.
Way to start the season off, Ronbo. And I'm young, and y'all might say I'm being arrogant. Y'all might be saying I'm being cocky. Well, I don't want to spend too much time on these next 3 games. How you feel about that Cowboys game, Ronbo? Because we're not just going to sit up here and talk about the Rams, Cardinals, and Giants. We're not actually going to spend time on those teams.
No, I'm concerned. They got to be mad as hell. I mean, we've embarrassed them 2 years in a row.
Yep.
And they got to be tired.
But Ronbo, to be fair, they did. I mean, Ronbo, let me tell you why I don't think the Cowboys have more so gotten better. I just think that they've seen Ronbo, we've played the Cowboys now going on 4 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So they are very familiar. I mean, we played them in 2020. They beat us. We played them in 2021 in the playoffs. We beat them. We played them in 2022 in the playoffs. We beat them. Now we got to play them again in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
So this is no different than a divisional opponent at this point. We've seen them 3 times already.
Because we played them on a regular basis.
Yeah. Like they're gonna know what we're gonna run now, Ronbo. This has nothing to do with the Cowboys. They've gotten better. They got people for the 49ers. No, they've seen the 49ers on separate occasions. It's kind of like how we play the Packers, Ronbo. We've seen the Packers and Matt LaFleur how many times? Like what, 4 or 5 times?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna know how they play.
Booty every time. And McCarthy's a different coach than the guy they got rid of, who they shouldn't have gotten rid of, because they blame everybody for their failures except Dak, and it's been Dak's fault each and every time.
Ronbo, it is Dak. Ronbo, but Trey Lance's career is over. I'm gonna just be real with you. I'm sorry. I'm gonna just be Ronbo. I mean, Ronbo, just think about this, Ronbo. You got 9 possible first-round quarterbacks coming in next year alone.
Ooh.
9.
That many.
You got 9. Ronbo, I can't even think of too many teams right now that don't have a young quarterback that is unproven that can take one of those quarterbacks. Trey Lance,
after the Caleb Williams sweepstake, is there some good ones in this particular class?
You got Bo Nix. If you got Shador Sanders, he's coming out. You got Spencer Rattler. I mean, Ronbo, it's some good dudes coming out. That if you Trey Lance, like year 4, you got to compete with a younger, healthier, more proven in college player than you. That it ain't his fault.
I'm wondering if he's getting his attention.
I hope so. I hope
because he needs
I really do.
Trey needs some training. I don't know where he's going to get it, when he's going to get it, though, you know?
Ronbo, one of the callers just said it not too long ago. These kids need to stop thinking that 1 or 2 years in college is going to be able to get y'all ready for the pros. Trey, now, and here's something that people don't really knock Trey for. Trey, you didn't play a year of football. Nobody forced you to go and play and declare for the draft. You could have stayed another year at North Dakota State. Like, I don't understand why he didn't. I really don't. You play 1 year in college and then you decide you're ready for the NFL. If you know you only got to play one season, why not come back and play your senior year?
Oh, actually, he would have been a junior, right? When
he would have been, he would have been a junior, Ron. I mean, he was young. He was
he still could have played
young.
1 more year and still been a junior. What these guys try to avoid is coming out in their senior year, so to make them declare for the draft in your junior year. If you're that good as a sophomore, maybe, but
Ronbo,
junior year's last year.
Look at how good players wind up being when they come out their senior year. Look at Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Look at Deebo Samuel. Look at Brock Purdy. These guys, they come in, they're well seasoned. That Senior Bowl, Ronbo, those seniors, when they come out of college, Ronbo, they know what they're doing, Ronbo. They come in and they automatically know what they're doing. But you can't play a year at D2 football, take a year off, and then go into the draft. That's not realistic.
It's a long.
And even but I mean, Ronbo, we got the Rams next week. What's that going to be? 9 straight. After that, after that we got what? A professional football team that
the Giants come to us.
Ronbo, they gave up 40 points. How you get 0 points, Ronbo? How you get 0 points?
Trey, think about it for a minute. Everybody in knows anything about football knows that Danny Dimes got overpaid and overrated. That was the most ridiculous.
Ronbo,
what did you do, Giants?
Ronbo, I don't bust my ass coming to a 9 to 5 every night just so these folks can go be paid millions to look pathetic, putrid, and absolutely depressing for millions of dollars. That ain't it, dog. So you mean to tell me you can go on the football field as a pro and put up 0 points and get paid millions, and I got to bust my ass doing what the big wigs say at a 9 to 5? No, I got a problem with that.
It ain't right.
I got a problem with that.
Jalen, if I was a writer in New York, the first thing I would say, okay, Saquon Barkley begged for money, and they didn't want to pay him. They paid Danny way more than they should have, and now we know who the real star of that team was last year, and they didn't want to pay him. Oh, I'd get put out of New York, man, if the NFL has that kind of power. I say, man, y'all, that's such BS. Oh, that's the biggest mess up, and I can't remember the last time I've seen a mess up that bad. God.
Yeah. Then we got the Cardinals. Then we got to play the Cardinals.
That's right.
Yeah.
I thought we had a tougher schedule this year too, Jalen. I really did.
Yeah, no.
It's a travel.
We're playing. We're going to Levi South. We're going against a professional team that put up 0 points, and then we're going against the first overall pick in the draft. That's our next 3 games.
But Caleb said, "Would you, if you were Caleb Williams and the Cardinals had the number 1 pick, and you know they're coming?"
I'm not going there.
I'm gonna play. Hey, what year is Caleb in?
I'm Ronbo. He's in his junior year.
Well, Caleb doesn't have to worry. He could get hurt, but if Cardinals could draft me, yeah, Coach, I'm gonna come back for my senior year. I ain't nowhere in the world I'm going to that dumpster fire. I mean,
how many more times are the Cardinals going to do that? I mean, they gave Josh Rosen a year, kicked him out. Gave Kyler Murray 3 years, kicked him out.
And extra money.
Caleb Williams,
we got to go, Jalen.
The Cardinals, boy. The Cardinals.
That's a bad organization.
Man.
Ooh, they're bad.
Yeah, they can't help it, though, Ronbo.
I know. It's too hot.
Man, at the end of the day, we still the kings of the West. Kyler need a 2-year rest.
That's right.
And Gene D and Rudy can keep coming in here crying that the 49ers going to be the best. Let's not forget, y'all. Breath smelling like Similac, wet behind the ear. Nick Mullins beat the Raiders on national TV. First game of his career. This wasn't just some game you could catch in local listings. If you stayed in California, this was on primetime TV. This was no different than Cartoon Network or Disney Channel. Everybody saw this. It was a beatdown.
That's Cartoon Network. I love it.
Harry saw it at Hogwarts.
Yeah.
Batman saw it over at Arkham Asylum. You know, it was over at Oscorp, the Green Goblin. He saw it. You know, Wakanda, T'Challa, he saw it. You know, a lot of people saw it. Zeus, Poseidon. You know,
don't forget Asgard. All of that.
Yeah,
the mighty Thor
Lord have
was
mercy.
laughing.
Stevie Wonder, Helen Keller. I mean, Lord have mercy. Jesus Christ.
Jalen,
Daredevil.
I'll see you Friday. Oh, God. B. Harold.
Ronbo, baby.
Yeah.
It's that time of year again, baby.
Yes, indeed. You know, I tell you, the 49ers do have to be careful. We're not getting no toughness with these first 4 games. I'm really worried about because you play the Steelers, who I'm surprised they were that bad. Or we was just that kind of good. But offensively, the offensive line did not do their job, so the Steelers must be kind of not that good. And then, of course, we go play the Rams and then the Giants. And then after that, I didn't know the Cardinals were following next. This is kind of a cakewalk, B-Ham. I thought the schedule was supposed to be tougher this year, but I think it's mostly about the travel, not the teams on the schedule. We play the Cowboys. That's the first real team we play, and that's in Week 5.
Well, this is the way I see it right here, Ronbo. Our offensive line didn't even play in the preseason.
Yeah.
A lot of people is complaining about the offensive line, but that was their first game. You feel me?
Yeah.
So I'm not really. If our offensive line was bad, and the Pittsburgh Steelers played their starters, I think they say 2 or 3 games in the preseason.
Yeah,
then I feel
and it was all pumped up. Yeah.
I feel pretty good. What I really feel good about, as much as I like Jimmy G, Ronbo,
Yeah.
as much as I like him, by the way, he did win, you know, over there with the Raiders. But as much as I like Jimmy G, Brock Purdy came out there and gave us 30 in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Yeah.
That means something because, you know, last year we always was kept waiting to get that big number when we was putting up points. So we can come out in the first game and give you 30. Offensive line didn't play in preseason.
I know,
They can't do nothing but get better.
Reason to get excited.
They can't do nothing but get better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not really looking too much off into it. However, I do agree with a lot of the fans that's coming in here. Hey, we need to do something about that right side, man.
It's scary.
I mean, we got to do something. If by the time we play the Cardinals, because we play the Cardinals before we play Dallas, if by the time we play the Cardinals he hasn't got no better, we don't have to. I believe Kyle can scheme a plan to beat Dallas. You just gotta.
And they'll fall for it every time.
At all times.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really see anything that Dallas added to their defense as much other than an extra cornerback.
Well, they got more cocky. Well, they got Gilmore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They didn't add any more pieces on defense other than another cornerback.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that Gilmore won't make a change, but, you know, like everybody is praising the Cowboys for this job that they did against a division opponent who they know very well. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm.
They know the Giants very well. They play them twice a year. And not to mention, they beat them with the last 9 times straight. Like that.
I know, so this is no big surprise. they own them.
So, you know, as much as they're praising the Cowboys and as much as the Cowboys did, I'm not listening. They win does not go unheard. They beat these boys down 40-0.
Mm-hmm.
But when I looked at ESPN, the 49ers is number 1 in the power rankings.
Because
You feel me?
Yeah, because with Dak, Dak didn't even play the whole game, did he? Somebody said Dak had 140 yards and sat down.
This is the thing. This is the thing. And see, I look at everything. The Steelers probably wouldn't have scored had we not gave them
penalties
when we hit Najee Harris. You feel me? So they probably wouldn't have even scored. Dallas, if you remember the game, the Giants was driving down the field that first drive. It wasn't until it was a false start on the left tackle. Then right behind the false start, they hiked the ball, and it was a Daniel Jones couldn't get on it or something like that. It was a loss of yards or something. So, that first drive, Dallas looked it real mediocre. They was just going down the field on it. It wasn't until they made that mistake that Dallas really started taking control of the game. I'm not really worried about Dallas.
You know what? I didn't watch that game yet because of the score. I'm gonna go watch it now because I need to watch the Eagles as well.
If you go, the Eagles. Oh my God, the Eagles did not look like the Eagles of last year. You missing an offensive coordinator and a defensive coordinator, you got problems.
They escaped.
Go back and watch that Dallas game.
Yeah, both teams.
Go back and watch that Dallas game. You will see that they were really moving the ball on Dallas that first drive until, that those few hiccups.
And then Waller.
Hey, Dallas blew them out. Yeah.
Waller pulled a
lot went on in that game.
Yeah, Waller didn't play, right?
Yeah.
Hamstring.
Yeah. So hey, like I say, Dallas will be our real first test to me. We might have a little bump in the road coming out of the gate against the Rams, but it's the Rams. We always get our shit together to play the Rams. So I'm not really worried. I like what I'm seeing in this team. Everybody came back, Ronbo, pretty much with something to prove from last year. This team is far more advanced with the way they played Sunday against the Steelers. They look way better than any other team that was out there. And don't get me wrong, the Cowboys, we hyped the Cowboys up. They were Sunday Night Football. But their offense didn't do anything. And if you watch like these sports networks, they're clowning the Cowboys offense. They like, your defense look good.
Man.
We didn't see what your offense is made out of.
Yeah.
So I'm not really worried about him. Dak will still throw you a duck. And I'm waiting on it.
Don't let him, boy. I can't wait till this
weekend.
On it. If Dak, Stephen A. Smith is already waiting on him too. And Stephen A. Smith says, I'm not worried about the Cowboys. Y'all just be patient. Just be patient. It's not if, it's when. And he's been right.
With us, Ronbo, I sincerely think as long as we can leave out of these games, and when Kyle Shanahan do his post-game report, he said, I have no injuries to report.
Ooh.
I'm cool with it. A lot of folks want CMC to come out of the game. You got to also look at some of these things too, Ronbo, because I've been a football player. Some players don't want to come out of the game.
Well, I'm pretty sure CMC ain't never going to want to come out of the game. I would just have to take him, put him on the shoulders and look, I got to talk to you. Come here. Hey, yeah, Jordan going for
when you're up 20-0, hey, let him come out because we don't want you to get hurt. We need
and just
he'll understand right now.
It's a professional. But yeah, we got to go though, and I definitely agree.
Ronbo.
I'll see you Friday though.
Hey, see you Friday, my man.
All right, have a great night, fam. Careful out there too. Looking forward to it. All right.
Okay.
That was Big Ham. It's Big Rig. Hey, KC. Casey. Honestly, though, I've entertained.
What's shaking, Ronbo?
Hey, Casey. Yeah, I was sitting there about to say, I have entertained thoughts of Mr. Block Eyes. By the way, shout out to Moody and Good Kicks. That's right. Hey, Casey, you know how you and Bryant like to talk about the special teams people? And especially you, Casey, who used to talk about Robbie Gould with a very interesting passion. Jake did have a great day. Hopefully it lasts throughout this weekend.
Yeah, he did okay.
For him.
I mean, that first kick, I would have liked to see go down the middle.
Scary.
But
he had one kick that was questionable, but everything else was like straight money. All right, Jake.
Yeah.
All right.
No, the making the first one was a huge deal. We'll never know how big of a deal it would have been if he hadn't made it. But thank God he did.
Oh man, everybody would have fell apart. We'd have been scared. I'd still be shaking.
Yeah.
You got to have your kicker, Case.
Week one went about as well as we could have hoped for, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. I didn't
injuries,
expect that to be that
we
easy.
saw Trent Williams go down for a second. I thought he broke a rib, but he came back in. And
yeah, he wasn't having a good day though. Well, for his standards, he wasn't having a good day. The offensive line was really kind of weak. They got beat up. They had all of them had low scores. PFF just rated them as just pitiful.
Well, I'm not concerned with that, Ronbo. Brock had a great day.
That's
he looked like he was in command. And, what are they going to do? Are they going to start interviewing Colton McKivitz up there? No one cares about the offensive line. Ronbo, I'm here to...
Colton is just, my God, Dakota. Stop him. At least once in a while.
I always think it's so funny when people criticize the offensive line. Because, you'll never hear from them in the media. They never get a chance to really...
that's right.
When from the offensive line ever gets interviewed.
Joe Staley's the only offensive mind. Oh, Trent Williams talks, but Trent Williams is a star. There's nothing they can shoot him down for. Remember Mike McGlinchey?
Yeah.
Mike was my favorite guy.
People, but the thing is just that there's no stats.
No, it's all performance based. Any question I ask you is about what happened. That's why McGlinchey used to come in there with that face and attitude when he'd sit down. Seriously, sit down. He'd have that stern look on his face. All right, go ahead. Mike, chill out, man. I'm not going to ask you anything you're not going to want to hear. McGlinchey was pissed off every time he came in. It's like he didn't want to do it because he knew he was going to get it.
Yeah, well, dealing with media in the NFL is
it's got to be rough.
Something else. Some of these play calls nowadays, they make me think that maybe there's like brackets of plays that they can call based on who's in the game, and because they should have taken Bosa out. Why is Christian in there late? All these things. It makes me wonder. Maybe there's something in their contracts that you have to have so many snaps, or think about Russell Wilson and the interception in the Super Bowl. Maybe I'm realizing this while I say it, Ronbo. Maybe Pete had that called up so that, see if Marshawn scores that winning touchdown, then they got to give Marshawn 3 years and
extended contract,
$48 million. You know what I mean, or whatever, right? So that's the whole angle to it, right?
Yeah, and they want to make Russie the hero because Lynch would jump in the end zone, grabbing his crotch. You know how he was that year. And that just didn't look good, I guess, to most people. So, they went to that length, though, to avoid giving him the ball.
I saw this thing that said Marshawn used to take a shot or two of Hennessy before a game.
I don't doubt it for a minute. Not even for a minute.
And
probably more than that.
And then I saw this comment. It said, "Oh, that's why he was acting like he was never hit or hurt from a hit." He would just
no.
People would just bounce off
with
of
a
him.
drunk nose. They don't feel any pain.
Yeah. No, you really don't. But one time when I was DJing, I got pushed through a table and got cut with this giant piece of glass, and I didn't notice until I stood up, realized, I'm all cut. And yeah, man, it was crazy, man.
Whoa. Yeah, cuts can do that too. You don't feel that until you feel the blood running. I've seen that on a number of occasions.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. But that's not why I'm here, Ronbo. I'm here to talk about the San Francisco 49ers.
Let's do it.
And yeah, man, I'm just, we're so week to week, man. Here we are, I'm placing bets on the 49ers to win the Super Bowl. They just got to stay healthy, man. They keep playing like this. I saw this thing. Trent said, Trent was like, we were tired. We wanted them to make a first down. Yeah, because we needed some rest.
They're
they're killing it.
The team is really
and it looks
built
like the
now.
gates are open. It doesn't look like anybody's going to stand in their way this year.
No, and look at these guys. These veterans been together for how long? And that's why, if anybody knows what they're doing, it's this particular 49er team. I mean, there's nothing they haven't seen. There's nothing they haven't been through.
Ronbo, am I wrong in saying that Brandon Ayuk is and maybe has been the number one wide receiver on the 49ers?
Oh, he's definitely wide receiver one. As far as wide receiver skills, oh, no doubt about it. I mean, this guy's wearing out some of the best defenders in the game. And
Yeah.
Diggs knows about
the
it.
maturation of Brandon Ayuk has been a beautiful thing. And when they lost the Super Bowl and Kittle was on the sideline, he's going, I'll be back. I felt like they were a really young team.
They were.
And looking at them now, looking at where Ayuk is a solid 3-year vet, right? So they're going to win the Super Bowl, man. This is their year. They're going to do it with
level, and I said it that year, Tracy.
They're going to do it with a
Casey?
6-digit quarterback.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I knew it. I says, everybody says, we're going to Super Bowl this year. Guys, I don't know about the level of these guys aren't mature enough yet to actually go in there, and they weren't. And Richard Sherman, I heard him talking on his podcast. Yeah, you guys, he's talking to Javon Kinlaw, right, during the podcast. Yeah, y'all went through the same thing we went through. We had a 10-point lead with 6 minutes to go, and they just caught on fire. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm not. Oh.
Yeah, and I think what's really happening too is that on some level, the last few years with all the money on the IR and everything, like they're getting some really good karma. And I won't be surprised if they start like 9-0 again, and then it's really clear that they're the best team in the league. Yeah. So if they just stay healthy, that's the way it's going to go.
Yeah. Because if we get in a situation with the Chiefs this time and we pull out to a lead, they ain't coming back next time. No, not now. This team's too mature, too much moxie. The coaching staff knows better what to do because they learn. You can't get beat down every time and not learn anything. So
they had such a clean game. And the Eagles, the Patriots almost came back and beat the Eagles.
I saw those highlights. I didn't watch the whole game. And I says, I thought the Eagles were supposed to be badass. What is this?
I saw the stat that said, shout out to Tony in Atlanta. I saw the stat that said the Falcons have their first winning record, first winning seasons in since 2017 right now.
Oh, 1-0 already. Exactly. Hey, congrats on that, Tony. I haven't told you that yet. I didn't see you Sunday because you were just basking in the glory of beating the Panthers and Big Bad Bryce. We got to go,
now that the Rams beat the Seahawks, man. I
know. The Seahawks, I got to look at that game. I was watching that game, but you know what? The Rams didn't beat the Seahawks until halfway through they were in the third, fourth quarter, something like that. So it wasn't like it was a beat down. It was just they finally got a grip on it. And Aaron started taking the quarterback down. But we got to go, Case. I'm going to see you Friday.
Appreciate it, Ronbo.
Bring that score.
Always a pleasure, man.
Yeah.
Not many full-grown men I would wait 2 hours to talk to on the phone Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday in a row and get upset that I didn't speak to for the last 2 nights. But you happen to be one of them, Ronbo. I'm so glad you're okay, man. I'm really worried about you on Monday and Tuesday, man. I'm like, oh, man, what happened to Ronbo?
I am going to leave a note from now on.
The police got him.
I know, right? The police. I got to make sure I tell everybody where I am and what I'm doing.
He's in the hospital.
When I miss the day.
Or something happened, But, hey, Ronbo, let me just real quick, man. Shout out to all the Seahawks fans in the chat. They ain't got no Ronbo Sports. Shout out to all the listeners in Egypt listening to the Reverend Ronbo Sports Show. And, we got Tony in Australia somehow listening to the game. Yeah, man, I don't know whatever happened to
don't forget about David out in the
Tabernacle, but don't make me wait until Wednesday again, Ronbo.
I promise.
Get another show on Friday. All right, man.
Casey, appreciate you. Have a great night, huh? And hey, Bethel.
Hey, Ronbo.
JJ, you got it. JJ, stop it. Bethel.
Trying to copy me.
I know. He likes you.
It's me, Ronbo.
Hey, that's a good invitation.
Bethel, I like it, man. It's warm. It's cold. I mean, I love it, man. Well, Bethel, man, it's like when We didn't know the numbers. I didn't see you after the game though. Right? We missed you that night. But you know what? That day. But
I was hearing why other people, chime in.
There were so many games on because we were so early, so nothing but nonstop games for the next 4 or 5 hours after that. So, you watch the 49ers, they didn't even play one of their best games. Kyle already said so, too. It wasn't one of our best games, which it wasn't bragging. It wasn't. And we still could have beat them to death. So, wait till we improve that offensive line because I think Nick Bosa trains our offensive line. Did you notice they look worse than usual? I think it has a lot to do with Nick. Nick gets him in shape.
Yeah, it's about to be a lot worse for the Rams because first place. Now he's gonna have a full practice. He's gonna practice more. Imagine he hardly didn't even practice.
He said it
and
too.
Look how good he looked.
And he said he didn't feel as comfortable as he usually does with some of the things he likes to do. He'll be doing them this week against our guys, which they're going to realize as Nick's dashing by. Whoa! Oh, man, come on, Nick. Hey, Nick, go half speed for me just for a few minutes until I can catch up with you, man, because you'll help me out too. I can't wait.
Yeah, and plus, look, everybody compliments everybody because, if it wasn't for, certain people, look at, who's going up. Look at how many, sacks, 3 sacks, like J.J. Watt. And he's not getting paid as J.J. Watt money. So.
No, TJ, actually, you're talking about TJ Watt, right, in Pittsburgh? Yeah, TJ.
No, our guy got 3 sacks.
Oh, Drake. Oh, Drake. You know what though? You know what? Drake could get double digit in them sacks this year. And it was pointed out earlier, everybody who's trying to do whatever they're trying to do, they get flushed right into Drake. And that, if they thought that was going to be a cakewalk, man, if they got a surprise coming, Drake is ready for that assignment. Ooh.
Yeah, because that's what you do when you actually have a moment to go one-on-one with other people. You take your moment. You make everything you have to bring it what you're capable of doing, because other people don't do that. You have a good teammate like J.J. Watt. He had to go on beyond to try to get his sacks, and his other teammates didn't take advantage of it. So,
that's right.
When
they only had those 3 sacks. That's right. And our offensive line was not playing that well either. That's interesting. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so it's and then it's it's kind of funny because I seen it was a Dallas Cowboy fan and Eagles fan. They both said the same thing, and if I'm not mistaken, right, I could see. Let's see, Dallas Cowboy creator said that we didn't play nobody, but
who did they play?
I didn't hear nobody saying about the Giants that the Giants are gonna kick the Dallas Cowboys ass because they're no good. And if I remember right, the Giants got beat up by the Eagles 3 times and scored over 40 points. Almost all 3 times, except once. I think
the Eagles and Cowboys cannot talk about the level of competition we faced in the first week, and especially the Eagles, who had to battle their ass off to beat the Patriots.
And I heard that they should have lost.
I saw the highlights.
They got lucky and they won. Everybody's saying they should have lost. So I don't know why they're pumping their chest if they should have lost. If there were no domination.
And the Giants ain't ready for prime time.
And supposedly they're,
Bethel, out of the 3 teams, I would guess that we played the toughest one.
Yeah, because a lot of people thought that we were going to lose against the Steelers because they're a good team. They had a lot of good people in. They had a good tight end. They had their defense. They had a lot of good defense guys.
The Steelers are going to win some games too. The Steelers, they're in the wrong division. They might not make the playoffs, but the teams are going to get a bloody nose trying to beat the Steelers
last year, but they didn't because of the division that they're in.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And then plus, they were tied with us with the most interceptions last year. So
the defense has always been tough.
That's a lot.
Yeah, Mike's always going to have that team defensively ready, and he works their minds, so they're going to be tough. We got away with that. I mean, we beat them up, but then you're not gonna play the Steelers 3 times in one season and beat them up every time. So
you're not gonna do that, and that's a good team. I don't know why people are downgrading them.
Because we beat them with too much ease.
Yeah,
you could say the same thing about the Giants then. I mean the Cowboys and the Eagles too. They didn't play nobody.
And then plus, no, they didn't. And then plus, the power ranking said everything. We dominated. That's why we're the number 1 in the ranks.
I like that.
Because everybody agrees that we're number 1 just because of what we did with our quarterback, with our running back, with everybody, and our defense.
Yeah.
So we would have had more points if Fred Warner would have caught that interception.
And if they wouldn't have had 7 points, had we not penalized, gave them penalties all the way down the field.
Yep, that's another good point. And plus, if I remember right, Dallas Cowboys, the only reason they got a lot of points was because of their defense and their special teams.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Giants' defense got tired?
Yeah.
And that's why their offense started scoring?
I didn't watch that game because I saw the score and I said, that's got to be boring. I didn't watch the Patriots and Eagles either. I'm going to go watch both games now just because I want to see what exactly happened.
They're no good. I'm not worrying about it.
Nah, there's no need. With our team, you don't need to worry about anything. Not yet. We ain't got any injuries.
No.
We're good. But I'll see you Friday. Bring that score. And
then one thing I need to say, too. If I don't know, remember how Deion Sanders was catching balls in college and he had the record?
Okay.
Guess who broke that record of Deion Sanders?
What, his son?
McCaffrey broke that record.
I know there's a record for it.
Because they were using him so much. He was a back that they were using him so much. And he didn't get injured. He got injured when he started with the Panthers.
There you go.
So that's another good thing to know.
Before we get cut off by play, let me see you Friday.
Right.
Bring that score with you, and we're going to talk about the Rams,
the like,
which is always a good time.
And let's go Niners. And Rudy, don't be hating.
He can't help it. He wants his team to be. He wants his team to be good so bad, but it just won't be.
I know. And I'll be there to see it live. So let's
All
go.
right. All right, Bethel.
All right, Ronbo.
Talk to you
Good
later. Night. 49 Brian says, number 1 in rankings, baby. Lambs, cowgirls, and sea turkeys, etc. All next victims. Bryant. BC O'Brien. Brian may be busy. Hey, let's get Stephen.
What's up, Ronbo?
Stephen, man, we're just going over some of the numbers and because Sunday I was just so delighted. I didn't care about the numbers. All I knew was we beat the Steelers, which actually had me a little concerned. I mean, to fly all the way to Pittsburgh. And when's the last time Pittsburgh lost an opening day game? But now we know the offensive line. 49ers made that a little more magical than it was. The offensive line did not have a good day, and we still scored 30 points.
They didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the offensive line, well, I mean, for the Steelers' offensive line, yeah, it was like paper. But, I mean, what can you do? You have Nick Bosa on one side, Javon Hargrave on the other side, Eric Armstead up the middle, Fred Warner in the middle ground. Then you got Dre Greenlaw paired with Fred Warner. You've got Mooney Ward on the outside. You've got Jake Jackson. And that's exactly what I said prior to the game, that if there's anyone that's going to shine real bright this season, it's going to be Drake Jackson, because everyone's going to be focused on trying to double up on Nick, Eric, and Hargrave. Obviously,
game one,
not those three is going to eat well.
Game one, 3 sacks, not 1, not 2, 3. So they are scared. It's working.
I mean, that defense, scary. But we already knew that going into the season. However, the 49er offensive line still has not had me sold yet. I'm not sold on it yet, Ronbo.
And that's why I get a kick out of people saying, dink and dunk, dink and dunk. I wish the people who think that's a thing, you go out there behind that offensive line and you wait for a long route to form. Stand there, wait, don't go. You can't throw it yet? Wait. Okay, now throw it. They'll be picking grass out of your teeth, out of your helmet, and everything else. I love it. This is the thing. Dink and dunk is a dumb thing to say about any team. You know what? I don't want them to change. You want your quarterback killed? Let him wait for a long route to develop. And it's not exactly.
Here's the thing. I want to know what you're talking about by dink and dunk, because what I saw was completely different.
I saw a few dump offs, but he was 18, 19, 20 yards. That's not a dink or a dunk.
How about that second touchdown pass to Brandon Ayuk over Peterson? You want to call that dink and dunk?
That's down in the corner in the end zone? No.
Yeah.
People will say that. They're just saying it to be saying it. They're not talking about the game, because if they were, they would have noticed there was more than dink and dunk going on. A lot more.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to jump ship real quick, Ronbo. I'm not going to talk about the Niners real quick. I'm going to jump over to the Raiders.
Hey.
I don't know if you watched the game in Jimmy's first start, but I got to say Jimmy played better in that game than he's ever played with the 49ers in general.
I saw that.
I mean, the man almost got his head cut off, and he goes running back on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Speaks volumes, but I mean, who am I, right? We're just fans.
No, the thing is, though, you got to figure, from that I also took, Jimmy was not happy with the playing with the 49ers and Kyle Shanahan. He liked the guys he played with, but Shanahan was making him crazy. Garoppolo looked comfortable as hell playing with the Raiders. I don't know.
Which is crazy.
McDaniel's the guy who raised him, so I he just went back to his guy.
Yeah, but I mean, it's unfortunate. You never thought you would ever see the day you'd see him in silver and black. But
I know that bothers me so much.
He kind of went home. He kind of went home when you think.
In essence, because he was back with his old coach.
Yep. Now, back to the 49ers. Do I feel like Brock Purdy's confident still? Absolutely. I mean, really, look at how. I don't know if there was a certain play where I believe Pittsburgh broke the offensive line, and I think it was TJ coming on the right side, outside right, and closing in on him, and Brock had a pure it looked like he was looking straight down the field, but you could tell in the corner of his eye he noticed TJ coming, and he booked it for that first down.
Why wait to be killed? If you're going to be killed, let somebody kill you a few yards down the field. Because TJ, man, good Lord. Oh, he's rampaging.
There's a reason why I want to talk about that. Not many QBs that are scramble QBs or mobile QBs. Let's just say, I'm going to call them scramble QBs. Not many scramble QBs have that kind of awareness of personnel coming at him, He had a sense of, okay, this guy's coming at me. I got to dip. I got to go. And I hate to say it, but if Trey were in that same position, I don't think, going by his experience in college and all that, I don't think he would do that well. I think he would take that hit. Well, granted, of course, Brock Purdy got hit later on, but
he really didn't see that coming at all. Because the dude McKivitz it's like McKivitz wasn't over there. Nobody was over there. He just ran in and grabbed. Oh my God! It's Jesus Christ! He was all over Brock within seconds. So,
I thought Brock was going to get re-injured. That's how scared I was. I was like, okay, this offensive line is still not good. And not to say the Steelers' defense isn't bad, but it's
they're really
pretty
good.
decent. If we're struggling at defensive line, a decent defensive line,
then yeah,
how are we going to do with a great defensive line?
No, but remember, just Steven, think about that for a minute. Pittsburgh defensive rush. The only reason we got a good break on that is Haywood didn't play the whole game. The Steelers' rush is ridiculous. They're right there with us.
Exactly.
They got the personnel.
And here's the worst part. Let's say, for instance, if we ever play, let's say we go all the way this year, right? And we face a team with a pretty damn good defensive line on the NFC. On the NFC side, the only one I can think of is probably the Cowboys. They've got the speed. They got speed. That's it.
Yeah.
They're just fast. They're fast. I don't know if the 49ers will be ready to have that number come offensive line. Or if...
Forrester and Kyle probably had a long talk, maybe a couple of times. That's going to have to change. Coach Forrester doesn't want to lose his job, and the guys on the team don't want to get cut. I'm sure those ultimatums are going to be out there. You guys, listen, you got to get better than this, or we're going to see if we can find somebody who can. So McKivitz, I don't see him getting humiliated. He did an interview once. Look for McKivitz to look a lot better this week.
Who is the one getting all the holding calls on the offensive line? I'm trying to remember who it was. Oh, it was killing me. I was like, bro, are you serious? Who was it? I'm trying to remember. Every time we move forward, we go right back. Now, on the defense, we already know Demo Lenore was fouling left and right.
It wasn't Banks.
It
Who was
number
that?
74, I believe, right?
Is that McKivitz or Burford?
I could be wrong. No, I think it is Burford. I think it was Burford. Spencer Burford was getting holding calls.
Because he was getting beat. So.
Yeah.
But see,
go
ahead. Finish that.
No, I mean, it's infuriating because, we would get these crazy, yardage with Brock playing his position, throwing it to the right people and everything like that. But then it would get called back because Spencer Burford would hold somebody. And it's like, bro, come on. You can't keep doing that. I get you get beat. And then you got Demo, who...
We're gonna have to go out. I want to see you Friday, though, and we're ready to give the scores and laugh and joke about the Rams.
Hey, don't overlook them. Don't overlook them.
And Rudy's already got me scared. He's saying things like, "Yeah, we guys better win it this year because we're coming back next year." Yeah, right. Okay.
Okay. All right.
See you Friday. That's no wrong.
All right, Ronbo. You have a great night.
Thanks, man.
I will.
Let's go check again on Bryant. Hey, Bryant.
Hey, how's it going?
Bryant, it's going well. It was the kind of thing I kind of wish I didn't notice the offensive line PFF scores. They were very frightening. But you know what? I still know it's not really that shameful. The Pittsburgh Steelers are not wimps. Their defensive pass rush is hell. TJ proved that. He came through that same door 3 times in one day to grab Brock Purdy. And if Haywood would have been healthier, Anyway, if you had anything to add to whatever your diagnosis was of that game, come right on in.
I didn't think the offensive line played that bad.
The numbers said they did.
Last year,
But
how did they really say it?
Hits and pressures.
Look at how long our offense was out there on the field compared to theirs.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And then you look at what they were.
Right?
Then you look at, Can you hear me?
No, you paused for a second. I know. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so if you look at how long we were out there, and then we just had callers that said that Trent Williams was glad that they were getting a first down because they were tired. Most of last year was Defensive Player of the Year. The year prior to that was T.J. Watt. So we have Colt McKivitz, who some people don't sound very high on him, but he only let up 3 sacks. And it sounded like what I looked at when I was watching the game is when he was going head to head, he was making those matchups. But when Brock Purdy dropped back too far and TJ went around him, that was when he was getting a clear shot at Brock Purdy. So right now it's the first week, and look what we did on offense as a whole unit. the offensive line is gelling. And it's taken us almost every year that we get a new offensive line since 2017 that it takes them so many weeks to finally get to a certain point where they are, firing on all cylinders.
And Brian, remember, from center left, they were clean. They didn't play their best games, but Brindle, Banks, and even Trent, who didn't play that great a game, they may have let some pressures through, but pressures don't seem to bother Brock Purdy.
No, and that's the neat thing about him too is it's kind of like what Jimmy did when he came into our team and he started throwing the ball fast.
Yeah, you got to get that ball out quick.
Ball out quick.
He's a lot. I'm glad you pointed it out. He's a lot faster than last year, actually, even.
When you have a quarterback that comes out and gets the ball out and gets into the player's hands, and you don't have people downfield that shouldn't be downfield, you don't have people holding on to blocks or anything longer than they should.
I know.
So
that's why I get a kick out of people. You dink and dunk. Listen, guys, understand the game of football. That's not dinking and dunking. That's taking what the defense gives you and not getting your quarterback killed. And it's also taking the stress off your offensive line. There's no such thing as a dink and dunk in professional football.
Well, I think there is, and I think
that's not the way I describe it, though. It's a necessity.
The type of play. I do. I think it's the type of play calling, and the type of offense that you're in. I mean, a lot of people get upset because
it's a short passing game. It's a West Coast offense, Brian. I'm not. You know what? Here's the thing with me. I get people getting upset because it's a short passing game because the offensive line is already under siege. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to wait for a route to develop so I can have to bring in my second string quarterback soon. This is stupid. Why would I do that? Kyle Shanahan, if nothing else, those design plays make nothing but sense. And maybe the first year I didn't know as I was watching, but I do now. High percentage play. Don't have that quarterback sitting there for some long range route to develop. Get rid of the freaking ball. And give it. And we got guys that can get the ball in their hands and make something happen. I'm more in favor of that kind of football now.
A lot of people don't seem to like it when you go down the field and it takes like 10 minutes off the clock or you have 14 plays or something like that. People don't like that. But if it makes the other, your offense is out there a little tired. But if it keeps the defense off on the field, the opposing defense, and by the end of the game, you're really controlling the game because all those guys are tired and you have the score. But again, we just don't have that type of offense that, it's not that we can't ever have it, but that's not what our offense is, set up to do. What we are doing is we're going for the short yardage plays, and then when you sleep on us and we have somebody open, boom, that's when you're getting a big yard chunk play. But,
that's the kind of personnel we got, right? That's the kind of personnel you got. You got guys like George Kittle, Deebo Samuel. You've also got CMC out there. You don't be use your strengths. That's your strength. Get the ball to him quick. It's like Tyreek Hill. He can go both ways because he's got that bullets-like speed. But for everybody else, and how many teams are practicing or doing 49er football? About 3/4 of the league are doing 49ers football, which makes me mad, but they are. They learned.
Yeah, a lot of teams are like really starting to mimic the Shanahan offense, or they have some type of, Shanahan in somebody underneath his tree, his umbrella tree. Hey, so real quick, what was your thoughts on the whole icing of Jake Lutie, and then the false start, then blocking the field goal, and then Mitch Wisnowski almost picking up the first down?
I hope they try that again. If Mitch was watching the defense coming at him, if Mitch just would have put his head down and go, I think he only had a little bit to go. He makes that play. Oh, I would have been, oh my God, I would have made my week. So I loved it.
I think it was awesome.
They're not going to try it again, though, for a long time.
It just depends, I guess, as long as they have to have him kick off. When Jake Moody can start showing he can kick off, too, then maybe they'll start doing some fun stuff with Mitch Wisnowski. He did play rugby, so I don't know. I'd like to
tough guy.
See some stuff. But
damn it.
But, hey, man, thanks for having me on. Great show as always. And, man, everybody just remember, it's one game at a time, and we can start, looking later down the season, but let's just stay focused on the team ahead of us. And, man, this team can be really, really dangerous. Really, really dangerous.
Hey, it's all about the health. Can we please stay out of harm's way? If that happens, 49ers are going to roll. Because, I mean, as I said before the season started, think about that offense for a minute. Who's going to stop that offense? What team is set up to stop that offense? It's just like the same thing with the defensive line. Bryant, I got Nick on one side. I got Armstead and Hargrave on the other side. So what are you going to do? You're going to run on the other side all day? And Drake Jackson says, no, they ain't. So, I like what I'm seeing here already. We'll see what happens
Even
next.
if that happens, when you got Big Fred coming in the back, yabba dabba do and smacking the dude. I mean, I swear, like, he hit Najee, and I think Najee really did sit down and say, I don't want to play
killed
anymore.
him.
Really
that's why we run the wide nine, Brian. We got them kind of linebackers.
They didn't have a first down. They got three and out 5 times. I mean, it was just wild, really wild.
Well, we got to go.
Listening to you calling shows and stuff, and I'll talk to you soon.
Looking forward to it, Brian. All right, fam. Give my best to the family. I'll talk to you in a minute. It was Bryant Colbert. Bryant Colbert's running. Just type in Bryant on YouTube, right here on YouTube, and you'll see him. And check out Bryant. He's fun. Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, Rambo. I don't know why all these people are surprised. I told y'all Bob Purdy would be champion. I told you, if we got Bob Purdy, we'll be all right.
And you're looking like you're right, too.
People worried.
No, everybody's not worried. I wasn't. People thought his arm wasn't going to be ready. Well, you know what? He's still getting the ball to the receivers.
Yep.
And
we'll win next week, too.
Yeah.
We got Bob Purdy, we'll be all right. I'll still get injured, we'll be all right. We'll be in the Super Bowl. I don't know why these people don't think we won't.
Well, you got other fans and then somewhere else. But you know what? We got to get McKivitz in shape, though. He's got to get a little better on that right side of the offensive line.
That's probably the best besides Nick Bosa.
Well, you got Dallas, and I do worry
Dallas
about.
Ain't nothing compared to Nick.
Well, no.
JJ Stokes.
I know, but well, yeah.
I mean,
as far as rushing the ball goes, but we still got a problem with Miko. Hey, we'll see.
Now we'll walk all over, just like we did Pittsburg. I mean, come on.
Because I didn't expect. I got to tell you, I didn't expect that.
Well, I didn't expect it. But when it happened, I was tickled to death.
No, I just didn't know it was going to be that easy, is what it was. I mean, they beat him up. I mean, they just beat him up.
Yeah. It's going to happen again next week. You watch.
It's all about that offensive line, too. The 49ers offense now is not the offensive line, but the offense. The 49ers are going to score 30 points a week, apparently. And there's going to be some weeks where they probably score more than 30 points.
Yep.
As long as that keeps happening, as soon as you put the team in a hole, the 49er defense is going to go buck wild. That's the thing.
Yep. We got the best defense and we got the best offense, so we'll be all right.
I know, right? I think that rating for the offense is going to be up there in the top 5. We haven't been able to say that in a long time.
I think it's going to be number 1, number 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Top 5? I don't know, between 1 and 5, I don't know. But they're going to be rated pretty high. Now you got that defense to go along with it. They could be pushing number 1. That is a Super Bowl team, fam.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we got the dream team that everybody wants. We got what they had in '94. When Steve Young was playing.
Yeah.
We got that dream team. When they beat the Chargers 55-22.
Oh.
In the Super Bowl, that's what we got to get.
Who do you think is going to be in the AFC this week, Jeremy? You know what? It's not for sure.
I guess Buffalo.
Well, I hope so. You know
Buffalo
why?
or Kansas City, I mean, they're two top quarterbacks. And I put Purdy up there with them.
Jeremy,
People might call me crazy, but I put Purdy up there with them.
I tell you what, watch the Miami team.
They will be good.
I got a feeling it's going to be them.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Because the Chiefs.
Miami is good. Now, I got a cousin of mine. Now, he's from Miami. He's got their 1972 football with all their Sixers on it.
See,
I mean, he's got that football where they went all the way.
Oh, you mean undefeated? You know, because
when they went undefeated, he's got that football.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't know who's going to beat them. Buffalo can't beat Miami, and for sure the Patriots can't beat Miami.
Now the Patriots can't beat them.
In that they're going to win that division.
I wouldn't bet on. I wouldn't bet on Buffalo not being able to beat them though. Now they got Josh Allen, and I wouldn't know Kansas City being able to beat him because they got Mahomes.
Allen, listen, Jeremy.
I think
Allen is
right up there with them.
But Allen is the Buffalo Bills' problem. As long as he continues to play hero ball, and they don't want to run the ball in Buffalo, they're going to be susceptible. Miami wins that division. Now, who wins between Miami, Kansas City, maybe the Bengals?
Nah, Kansas City.
You think so? They got the pedigree.
I think San Francisco beat them all.
I just want to know, getting to the Super Bowl, who are we going to face, and can we match up well with them? I'd love to play Kansas City.
Oh, yeah.
Because Kansas City should be pretty worn out by now. Even if they get to the Super Bowl, it's going to be rough.
Well, Mahomes thinks he needs to throw a home run every time he throws a football. So,
but he's got to have Travis Kelce.
Party's got the brains. Hey, I can throw it soft and get it to them, and they can catch it. Mahomes wants to throw that rocket arm, and then they can't catch it.
Yeah, well, I don't know what was going on with him this
past. He did with Detroit.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know what was going on.
He threw that rocket arm. Hell, ball's bouncing out them 30 feet.
He was catching it last week. Last season. I don't know.
He just threw the ball too hard. Party don't throw the ball that hard. He knows, right limb to throw it.
Yeah, he lays those throws right on those receivers. I mean, some of them that George Kittle shot.
He's going to be no Tom Brady.
Right in the perfect spot.
Everybody thinks I'm crazy for saying that, but I think he's going to be no Tom Brady.
Well, he is pretty smart. Brady's definitely brilliant.
He throws it nice and light, right to him.
Yeah, Brady believes in that too.
That's how Tom Brady played. I mean, if Purdy plays it smart, he'll take his pay bro and just keep playing and make his team a Super Bowl champ every year.
And he'll get paid
next year. I think he will.
Well, Jeremy, we got to go. I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to see you Friday. Bring that scores so we could put that mojo on the Rams. All right?
Oh, yeah, they're going to beat the Rams so bad it's going to be pitiful. It's going to be another 30-7 or another 30-0.
Jimmy.
It's going to be pitiful.
Jimmy, that's why I like talking to you. I love when you talk country. Pitiful.
I'm just sorry I takes out no nothing. I love my 49ers.
Jerry.
And the bad thing is I live in Missouri. I hear about Mahomes. I'm tired of hearing about him. I want 49ers to be 50-0.
Ooh, you would have to take pleasure in that.
Out of stretcher.
Jimmy, I got to go. I'll see you Friday, okay? I'm looking for you.
All right. See you Friday.
Looking forward to it. Night, fam.
All right. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Hey, JJ.
God damn, Ronbo, what the hell was that?
You got to learn how to talk country, JJ.
Ronbo, I'm as country as I can get. That was incredible. I do think also that Brock Purdy might be the next Tom Brady.
I love me some Jerry, man, but I feel like I want to get up and make a pan of cornbread.
I was thinking about doing the entire skit like that, but nah, I'm not going to do that.
Nah, Jeremy's so cool. Hey, but JJ, I'm telling you right now, if there's one concern, and we don't need to worry too much, because you know how we do. We expect perfection. That's why Show is getting so much grief, because Show is looking at a very good team, and he just pointed out the flaws, which is nothing wrong with that. But we need to know that other teams, our one or two flaws is like dwarf. The other teams are looking way worse. So, I think we'll be okay. I am worried about the right side, though. McKivitz, 3 sacks in one day, and you're the only guy that had that problem. Granted, it was T.J. Watt, but still, I don't want to see that this weekend.
Yeah, you can't have a perfect team all the time. Even the 94 Niners didn't have the greatest running back.
No.
Ricky Waters and Floyd, they were pretty good, but they weren't like the top running backs in the league. Damn, Barry Sanders was still playing.
I know, right?
Emmitt Smith was still playing. Come on now.
Ricky Waters is still pissed off about that. He can't get into the Hall of Fame.
You're not Roger Craig, but sorry.
But
one thing I wanted to touch on that right side. I know it is a little bit weak. I think it was, I don't remember who it was. They said a couple calls ago. It wasn't as bad as we expected. I think it was because of Purdy's mobility to a point. Again, Shanahan scheme up to this. You still got Kittle blocking, you still get Juice blocking, but you got to understand too. You got T.J. Watt coming at you. He was Defensive Player of the Year not too long ago.
Right?
You also
That's
got
what I'm saying. Agree.
And then you have another Defensive Player of the Year. We're playing on Sunday. In Aaron Donald.
If Aaron comes out of the interior, he's not as dangerous if he tries to play the edge. But he's going out there, JJ. He's going to see if he can get the same license to get through there as TJ did, as he can go through McKivitz. But we're going to scheme up on Aaron. Belichick and
like
Kyle.
We always do.
All right, because remember that year, Belichick and Kyle. Remember, Aaron Donald was a no factor in that Super Bowl. The Rams played the Patriots that year, and Belichick just explained to Kyle what he did. and Aaron's had a couple of sacks since then.
Yeah. I only say that too because Burford wasn't the greatest either.
Yeah.
I saw a couple where he just let people in and let through and all that stuff.
He got beat.
Yeah, after the Sunday, and oh, good Lord, Bessel. Now that I find out you're going to be there too, shit. He's going to end up running into me. Find me, man. I'll be the one. I'll probably be the only one in the entire stadium rocking a freaking O.J. Simpson jersey.
Oh, JJ, you're going to the game as well. All right.
Hell yeah.
JJ, okay,
I
tell you, I'll drop a note to you shortly. But that game, boy. I tell Rudy, Rudy should come and find you. No, wait, Rudy doesn't necessarily have to be at that game, does he? Probably isn't going to be.
Rudy, he won't be there. Rob, it's over the years, it's become 70-30, then it's 80-30. I'm pretty sure it's going to be 90% 49ers. They don't want to show up, Rob. They don't.
There's no need. Hey, JJ, you know what? You're absolutely right. The only reason, and Rudy has the nerve to go, all these young bandwagon 49 fans. Rudy, you know how many fans are going to show up talking about bandwagon? The only reason people are showing up at SoFi is, for one, they were probably getting bunch tickets to companies or something. And now they're not that good. And you know how much entertainment is involved in L.A.? People don't want to watch the. If I'm going to go to a ball game in L.A. now, I see the Dodgers. The Lakers aren't playing right now. But the Rams have got or a hockey team. But, watch the Rams get beat for the second year in a row. You're right, 80% to 90%.
My own wife don't want to go, and my brother-in-laws don't want to go, and I even offered to pay them. They don't like it, bro. And I can't blame them because every game that I choose to go to, I don't want to go to a game that there's a chance that we can lose. I don't, like last year. I didn't want to go to a game if we were playing the Chiefs because I hate the Chiefs, and if we lose to them, I can't go to a game against the Seahawks. Yeah, it's scary.
You're right. Any game you suspect to be unhappy about. I don't go to this game to have a bad time. If I know my team's going to win, sorry, I'm just that way too. I agree. So, but I just realized the point you just made about the percentage of 49er fans going to be there as opposed to the percentage of Rams fans. That support is going to dwindle Because the Rams fans, as I say, LA crowds are the worst when it comes to supporting teams. I've been to a Dodger game when the Dodgers were just struggling, and most of them fans spent more time up in the concession. I understand that Dodger dog is good. But the thing is, they were more interested in everything but that, and they left before the 8th and 9th inning if the Dodgers weren't winning. So, yes, you're right. 80 to 90% 49ers. JJ? Did we lose JJ's connection? JJ. Okay. So, JJ, we'll see. I'm going to get you Friday. Looks like your connection. Here's we go. Some comedy relief. Well, it's time for Marketing Pro. Marketing Pro, come on in, dude.
Yo, Ronbo, what it do, player, what it do. See, with time, Marketing Pro's genius just gets better and better. See, everybody shouting out all the cats I've been telling you all summer. Steve Avila, a.k.a. the Great Wall of L.A. You know, you've seen the Great Wall of China, right? Wait till you see the Great Wall of L.A. Sunday, because that's so fly, so fly. The Rams are going to be super fly.
Yeah.
And G&D, you stay the hell out of this chat, and you know your role, jabroni. You know your role. You know your role. And y'all got smacked up.
Well, that's right. You guys just played the Hawks and beat them up. G&D, what are you going to do? Really, seriously. I'm with Marketing Pro now. G&D, you lost the Rams. You're not going to beat the 49ers. And there's a chance that the Cardinals won this past weekend, right? Boy, hey, the Hawks are in last place as we speak, ain't they?
Yeah, and let me tell you, man, G&D, you're going to be saying, oh, my God, just like Geno Smith when he saw Aaron Donald Sunday. You know what I'm saying? It's over for you guys. You guys are toast. But now let's get back to the two juggernauts of the West. You know, you got Ronbo Sports, 49ers. Hey, that front seven looks serious. You know, 5 sacks.
Yeah.
And what's his name? What's that guy? Drake Jackson.
Yeah.
He caught my attention.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of Alden Smith before he went Bobby Brown with the Rocks. You know, he was you know what I'm saying? He got them long arms like Alden Smith.
He does
he
really have
making
some
noise.
Arms. Yeah, and he's real athletic too.
And he can block the ball too. You know what I'm saying? So
he's always in his hands on.
Right there, we got to look out for.
Every
we
game,
got to look out for him.
Tip.
That dude's about to get the bag. I think he might get 10 sacks this year.
I've got him down for at least 10 because you don't want to run toward Nick, and so your pass protection is gonna have to focus on trying to chip Nick, and then you gotta do something with Hargrave. Eric Armstead is gonna eventually get started, and now the only guy left that you're gonna try to run a risk on is Drake Jackson, and Drake Jackson just showed everybody I ain't having it. Y'all go punk me, disrespect me like that. Okay, go ahead. I'm telling you right now. You don't want to block me? Watch your boy go down. And that's pretty much what happened.
Yo. So on the Rams side, you know, our offense, you know, like I said, it was 0 hits allowed, 0 sacks allowed. Defense
from the Great Wall of LA.
Oh, Steve Avila, man, he was pancaking fools. And then basically our new offensive line is very stealthy. 0 hits. And then if you were watching the game, you know,
it was
what I told you. It was the stealthy offensive line. You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
So
I did
0 hits, 0 sacks, and that's what the Rams need to do. And the other thing, if you watch the Rams game, did you actually watch the highlights?
Were there highlights?
Matthew Dime Stafford is back. You're getting the Stafford of 2021, the Super Bowl champ. He's about to make noise. He got receipts of all the 49er fans making fun of him. And I got bad news for the 49er.
A whole room to put them receipts in because that's a lot of receipts. Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
Before you get your hopes up,
and
though.
Stafford, did you see him do his Steve Young on that 3rd and 8? He ran better than Steve Young on that play. It was
I did see him run. I didn't see him run better than Steve, but I did see him running. You know what? In fact, I don't know that the Hawks pass rush is what it needs to be to compete. You're going to see a little better pass rush than that come Sunday, though, Mark and Pro. I hate to tell you.
Well, I'll tell you what. But here's the other thing you're missing. Now, Mark and Pro, shout out Puka Nacua. You know, hey, man, your boy had his name wrong, so you better get used to that name. Rookie of the Year. Tutu Atwell and Puka Nacua broke an NFL record. You know that?
Tutu's going to get bullied.
The first 2 wide receivers under 23 to get 100 yards in the same game. That record stood till 1957. See, that's the genius of Sean McVay, Bill Walsh reincarnated. This cat develops talent. And Tutu Atwell's route running just torched the Seahawks' very good secondary. Now, the 49ers secondary was vulnerable against the Steelers. Kenny Pickett was missing throws left and right. It could have been a much closer game. And you probably noticed some of those throws that Kenny Pickett missed. I thought it was Dak Pick Scott out there.
He was under pressure.
I confused him for Dak Pick Scott.
Listen. He was under pressure like Stafford's going to be now. At least Pickett throws it wild, but Stafford likes to find a player on the other team to throw it to. I almost can predict 2 picks this Sunday.
Yeah, I got Matthew Dime Stafford.
Nichols.
Over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. It's going to be a barn burner. But, you know, I think the Rams prevail and they take this one.
You say what? What?
The Rams, it's going to be a barn burner, but the Rams are going to win. I got Rams 37.
37
49ers.
Points on my defense?
On the 49ers. Oh, that's right. And then the 49ers are going to have about 26. They're lucky, maybe 30.
Well, how you going to stop us? You got a defense that can stop the 49ers
here's the other
offense?
thing.
Wait, Marketing Pro.
Oh, yeah. Purdy is containable. He's not anything to be afraid of. I mean, Purdy is Purdy. I think he's a downgrade from Jimmy. Jimmy we used to be kind of afraid of. He was a problem. But
Marketing Pro, I wish we had more time.
No Brock Purdy.
Because I want to see what other madness you bring out. Production is knocking at the door saying y'all need to stop. But Marketing Pro, come on back Friday and let's continue this.
Right side.
Marketing slow, stay off the hard liquor.
Byron Young, the rookie, look out for him. He's going to make noise Sunday.
Hey, Mark, but you know anything about Bammer weed?
Rams Nation, shout out Rams Nation, signing out.
The whole entire chat saying he's drunk, and I agree.
Tony, God, Margaret kills me.
Almost 40 points.
He's going to score 40 points, and we're not going to score any more than 27. That's below our average so far. Marketing Pro be tripping hard. It says it with no
Ronbo,
shame.
Congratulations, Ronbo, on your victory. Ronbo, you see how everybody's kissing, everybody's turning back to y'all. Remember the Trey Lance trade?
Yeah.
Y'all done. They ain't saying that now, are they?
You know, and had us getting beat. All kind of analysts were saying, I'm taking Steelers in this game. I couldn't understand why they were so confident when they said that. There was no hesitation. NFL Network, ESPN, all of them had at least a couple of analysts that said, I'm taking the Steelers on this game. And I'm sitting there watching. I'm saying, why you guys just say it like it's a given. So I was trying to figure out, they had me thinking like they always do, Tony. You know, Tony, you ever watch a program like that and the way the analyst brings it out and tells you it and says it and explains why, you start to buy into it a little bit. I bought into some of the madness a little bit.
He's just because he's just pure comedy.
Oh, man. And then you go to Joy over on Speak. First things first. I said, okay, maybe I need to chill out.
Sam Acho. Ronbo, see how the Seahawks fans that was cheering and partying saying y'all were done, now they depressed. They pissed off at They're talking about the defense.
I don't know why people question. There was two things you can't really question with the 49ers. That's Pro Bowl offense, other than the quarterback. The defense, Fred Warner was scary out there, and he ain't. Man, I don't know why people think that the 49ers can be such pushovers in certain areas.
And Ronbo, I remember what you said. I jotted this down. This past Sunday, Geno Smith. Remember you said we're going to see if Geno's the real deal? It's only one game. But Geno Smith was 16 out of 26, Ronbo, for 112 yards. one touchdown, no interception. Ronbo, you see a pattern? Remember we talked about Prescott?
Yeah.
Prescott, Geno Smith, Daniel Jones, they all had that one good year. They get paid, and then they turn back into their former self.
They can't play anymore. Hunger, drive goes down. And especially with Geno, and he didn't have a good – Tony, remember coming down the pike, they were saying already that the Hawks are probably going to see if they can trade for a quarterback. And then all of a sudden the Hawks announced, no, we're extending Geno Smith. And I said, really? And Daniel Jones' contract, 40 what? Really?
Yeah.
That's up there with Russell Wilson's contract.
Turn back into pumpkins. And then, too, marking it slow, Cam Akers, 22 carries for 29 yards. That is horrible.
And what did he say? What did he say after last season? Yeah, we got Cam Akers coming back. He ain't going nowhere. And 22 carries, 29 yards. That's not good.
Yes.
That is not good.
That's not good at all. And Ronbo, what they did, I see what the Rams did because I was watching, a little bit of all the games.
Yeah.
They moved Noteboom from left tackle to right guard. They put him next to Haberstein, their veteran. He's playing right guard now. And then they started that Avila guy, their first pick, that second-round pick.
The Great Wall of L.A.?
Left guard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Avila, and then they got this guy, Lance McCutcheon, who was a free agent, played at Oregon. He's their left tackle now. So they did some revamping on their line a little bit.
They had to, because Stafford cannot take the beating he took last year, and the Rams expect him to stay out there.
Yeah.
So,
Ronbo, I feel bad for Aaron Rodgers. I know we talk about his attitude and all that, but Ronbo, I blame the Jets organization, the coaching staff. When you come out into a game, Ronbo, you saw the game, right?
Yeah, for a few minutes, and I got
the
bored.
first 4 plays were all passes, weren't they? The first 4 plays were all passes, weren't they?
I don't know why they don't want to establish a run. All these teams with these premier quarterbacks think you got to come out firing. Why do you do that?
That's why it happened. And they had a pretty good day running. Bryce Hall broke a long one later in the game.
If I got Bryce, I run the ball first play anyway, no matter what Aaron Rodgers is.
And they got Dalvin Cook. The first 4 plays were all passes, and he got hurt on that 4th play. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable, man.
It's just stupid.
Yeah.
It's just really stupid.
Yeah.
And you guys, you worked on our first round, a number 1 draft pick. It was cute.
Yeah, Ronbo, he was just like I said. We sacked him 3 times, pressured him several other times. We had strip fumble, and Jesse Bates baited him, our new free safety, the free agent from Cincinnati.
Yeah,
baited him in the 2 picks. Both of them, he baited them.
You see,
yep.
help him up off the ground. Welcome to the NFL, rookie. Get up, I got you.
Yeah, Jesse Bates got NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
All right.
Yeah.
That's why when people talk about running the ball, there's people get on Kyle Shannon, hey, they can dunk and run the ball. Look, man, y'all need to understand, study football a little harder, man. There's something to be said about a strategy that includes running the ball. Aaron Rodgers would still be on his feet, most likely, if I got a premier running back that takes the ball for the first couple of carries. And let's soften that defense up.
They got 2 premier running backs with Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin, all right. They just got him.
Yeah. And Bryce Hall, yep.
So what
they come out the game passing on the first 4 plays. Of course, they got a first down, then they passed him again, and that was the play he got hurt, the 4th play. And when he came, when the game started, he comes running out of the tunnel with the lights off with the American flag and all. The Aaron Rodgers show.
Yeah.
It's like Hard Knocks.
And the bad thing about it is your offensive line has been talked about for months. And you put Aaron out there underneath that. Oh, that's scary. And then look what happened. He promises he's going to be back, though.
Yeah, next year, Ronbo, he'll be 40 years old. Coming back from Achilles surgery. That's going to be kind of tough.
Hard. Can he handle the rehab that it's going to take to get him ready for next season? That's going to be
40
rough.
years of age.
40 years old? Yeah. It's not like he's going to heal up easy.
Ronbo, bad part about all that, too, on that play, they said it was Dwayne Brown's man that beat him.
See?
38-year-old Dwayne Brown.
Yeah. You got to, and Dwayne's been out. Was he on off season, preseason? Was he hurt, nursing some kind of injury?
Yeah. Weak, yeah. Him and Becton.
Well, Becton's just sorry and lazy. But Dwayne is just, man.
38 years old. Like I said, Becton, Dwayne Brown, and they had George Fant last year, who they had both of them in Seattle. I said to you most of the summer, they should have re-signed George Fant. That's depth.
They know now, and you know the Jets, what they're going to be doing on off season. If Aaron is coming back, they're going to go searching high and low to get some decent ends. Becton he already told people when he came into the league, football might not be his favorite thing to do. From right then and there, I said to myself, that's that kind of attitude of an offensive lineman.
He's just trying to get that money.
Yeah, he's more worried about what he's going to have for lunch than he is football. So, and then you go get Aaron Rodgers, you got to pay him how much money? How much did they guarantee Aaron Rodgers?
I know he was due $53 million this year. 53. So, but
anyway,
Ronbo, it's funny how Gene D was in here talking trash earlier. We was tearing him apart. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're in here talking trash?
How do you do that? You just got beat, and strange.
Last team with a bunch of UDFAs and fifth and later round draft picks on the defense.
Tony, we gotta go. Okay, I'll see you Friday and bring the scores for our team and your team. Right?
Yeah, we play Green Bay, Ronbo. It's gonna be a tough one, right? Green Bay.
They are people already have saying good things about the Falcons. This will be the test you guys need to pass too. So that should be a good game.
Our defense is good too. I don't think our defense is better than Green Bay's, but I've seen some holes that the Bears exposed them. Did you get the chance to see Bijan Robinson at all, the running back?
No, I have not watched that. That's one of the games I didn't watch Green Bay and Chicago because I saw the score. Because there's so many games, I try to pick the ones I'm going to take my time out to watch. I'm going back, though, to watch the Cowboys and Giants game. I want to know what happened there because we got to play both those teams anyway. And also,
they protected
the Eagles,
that, Ronbo. We protected him.
And the Eagles didn't run the ball like McCarthy said they were going to do.
Yeah.
And what in the hell? The Eagles should have lost that game? A lot of people are saying that.
Mac Jones, which I don't like him, was throwing lasers. Kendrick Bourne had 2 touchdowns and should have had the third, but Mac Jones overthrew him. Oh boy, Kendrick Bourne got off.
I'm trying to tell people Kendrick Bourne's got skill. Anyway.
Yes,
all right, Tony. Always fun to talk to you. I'll see you Friday.
Oh, always a pleasure. Shout out to the whole Niner Nation, Ellis, Big Show, and Texas boy. You are overrating your team. Your Cowboys are still ass, and I still think the Jets gonna beat them with their defense.
Ooh, Thursday night. No. Sunday. Who's Thursday night? Who's tomorrow?
Minnesota at Philadelphia.
I'm watching that one. Because the Eagles, if they barely escaped, Jefferson's going to have a field. Okay. Hey, Tony, I'll talk to you Friday.
Yes, sir. You would talk one more thing. The New Orleans Saints, Derek Carr threw a couple of picks in the red zone.
See?
They barely won.
And a dude got on me on Twitter. I said, you know what? Jimmy G is back with his old coach. Don't look for that offense to be let down because Derek left. Ronbo, you just like Jimmy G, man. Jimmy G ain't better than Derek Carr. Okay, I'm not going to argue with it because everybody thinks Jimmy G's the worst quarterback in the NFL. But Derek Carr was over there for how many years and did what? I'm just saying. You got to look at things as they are. Anyway.
Picks inside the 20 on the drive Sunday game. They won 16-15, but, he threw 2 red zone picks.
Yeah,
I'm like, yeah.
That ain't going to work every week. Derek is he's okay, but I was never crazy about Derek Carr. He looked good that 1 year, but otherwise, come on.
I'm looking forward to watching that Seattle at Detroit game too Sunday, Ronbo.
Whoa! Good football this weekend. All right, Tony, we gotta go. I'll see you Friday.
I'll see you Friday.
Looking forward to it. You too. I didn't know this. I gotta look at these schedules. Anybody's got to play Detroit. I don't want to play Detroit. I'm telling you right now. That's going to be one of the teams. There's got to be how many teams in the playoffs? That's going to be one of them. Fam, thanks for the contribution tonight. It's always appreciated. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll see you on Friday. Get ready to give those scores. It should be fun. Please subscribe so we can get you back and we'll and have fun all season long. I know.